Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nintendo Prime Podcast. I am your host, as always, Nathaniel Rumplejants, otherwise known as Mr. Nintendo Prime. I'm just gonna go fix some of these audio settings quick. It's coming from Mike's end. Mike is just doing his thing back there, apparently.
Miscounted the countdown. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, it's all right. There he is. Dude, Mike's just like talking in the background. We're like, I don't know what is going on. I'm have to go mute him quick. Anyways,
Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast. We have some brand new people that we've never had on before, and so we're starting our podcast. What we do every single time, introducing ourselves, what we do, where we can find our stuff at, and what have we been playing lately. And we're actually going to start with the 3-pack of newbies down below, because I'm actually really interested because I'm pretty much meeting them for the first time, just like all of you right now. So let's start with Nightcrawler724.
Hey, how's it going? Carl coming at you.
Yeah, what's going on?
I am one of the co-hosts of the Nintendo Powercast with Johnny and Cheesy down here with me, and also N64 Josh, which I believe he's hanging out in the chat a little bit. But we just get together every week and talk Nintendo, similar to what you guys do. So we're excited to be here. You want to do what we're playing right now? Still,
Yeah. What have you been playing?
So I'm excited for Side Order, which is coming up here in a little bit. So I've been playing some of the single player stuff. I finally got around to finishing that in Splatoon 3 here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And finally got my 80 hours in on Xenoblade 3 and finished up that story. Yeah,
nice. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I really enjoyed 2. Enjoyed my time with 3. I need to do the DLC stuff now that I've finished the story.
Yeah.
So
have fun with Future Redeemed. That's great, especially if you play the other ones. You'll love it.
Yeah. So and then slacking on my Final Fantasy VII remake completion. So I've been working on that a little bit on PlayStation before Leap Day gets here and we get the second part.
Yep.
There we go. Nice. All right, John, what's up?
I'm what's up? I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having us. I'm John Ebo. I'm John Ebo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, the Nintendo Powercast, and Communication Air with Cheesy. You might know me from my popular hits from Piracy is Bad.
Yes.
and the Mortal Kombat on Nintendo Switch. I think I got them to try to fix it.
And that was all you then. It was all you.
That was all me. Okay, that was all me.
That patch was you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
They released the statement like right after I posted that video, so it's only fair.
Yep.
Quote tweeted on IGN as well.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
On IGN.
Yeah, see, if you met, dude, IGN's covering you, you're big time. It was clearly because of you.
Exactly. But I've been playing Pokemon. I feel dirty saying it, but I've been playing Pokemon.
Which one? The latest one?
Scarlet and Violet. I've been trying to beat the DLC.
All right. What do you think? Are you in the Indigo Disc DLC or the first DLC?
I'm in Teal Mask.
Okay.
It's actually it's harder than I was expecting. I tried to make a new team, but I was not leveled up enough, and I got bodied by the guy. I don't even know his name.
Well, but he bodied you.
I don't read in the games. I just kind of.
Well, I thought you were gonna say you don't read in general. I was like, well, that's
I mean,
far in life without reading.
But I also like shiny cardboard, so I got a bunch of cards.
Okay, yeah, the cards. All right. That's good. Cheesy, what's up?
What's going on? Hey, I'm Cheesy. Cheesy C64 pretty much everywhere. CHEEZYC 64. I've mostly been playing Splatoon 3 just because I'm excited for Side Order, and I decided, before Side Order I would go and 100% it, the story mode. Like I did all the kettles before, but you have to like beat it with all the different weapons, and I wanted to see what you get for that. And turns out you don't get anything except for just bragging rights on a podcast. So
yeah, I mean, at least in Tears of the Kingdom, if you do all the Koroks, you get a golden poo again. Because
True.
we needed a second one. If you do
Yeah.
all the Koroks,
Was that true?
yeah, they give you a golden
Yeah,
poo.
the
did not
same
even know
reward
that,
as Breath of the
Same
Wild.
reward as Breath of the Wild. They
Yeah.
couldn't even like make it look different.
Wow.
It's like the same thing. Maybe they just figure it's kind of pointless. No one should do it. So why should we give you something else?
I think
I
they
did,
probably
I
did
did
it
like the
because
Korok puzzles a bit in that one.
it's
though.
two
Yeah.
for two.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Crawler got it.
There we go.
Wow. Was that a number 2 joke?
Sure
Oh,
was.
here we go. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Strong.
All right, Eric, my best friendo.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on? What have you been playing lately?
I played a little bit of Madden before this.
Oh, yeah?
That
Gotta
was
ask it.
absolutely stupid. And then I was also playing some Tears of the Kingdom. Still just running around the depths trying to find light roots because completed the shrines not too long ago, and
Yeah, that was
That's
last
the
week's
next
big
step.
news. You
Yeah.
beat all the shrines.
yeah, that's
Now
the
it's
next step.
Lightroot City. Let's
Yep.
go.
Lightroot's made it
Depths are fun.
easier to find the shrines, though. I'm surprised you did it that way.
He's doing it the opposite.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Depths are fun and
I can
underrated.
see in the upper world.
Yeah.
That's true.
now,
I can see-
now to find the light roots, it's like, oh, hey, here we go.
All right, Nishquick, welcome back to the show. Haven't had you on in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Hey guys, I'm Nishquick. I cover Nintendo and JRPGs on my channel, Nishquick Pops. And recently, I've been playing the amazing and stylish and very addictive Persona 3 Reload. And I've been playing it I got it on Steam because I recently got a Steam Deck in like November. So I was like, hey, this is not on Switch, but I can play it on Steam Deck and still get that handheld experience. But I am I am 95% certain this is coming to the next generation Switch or Switch 2 because I mean we'll talk a little bit about that later probably, but I am very, very certain that this and like a few more Atlas games are coming. But yeah, it's been a very fun game, and I'm very excited for also Nightcrawler was saying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm very, very excited for that. The state of play even hyped me up a bit more. So I'm a little nervous for some story stuff, but I'm mostly excited. And yeah, that's what I've been up to.
All right, man. Mike,
Hello, what's up? What's
who
going
the
on?
hell are you? And what have you been playing lately?
I don't know who I am lately. I'm lost myself, and I'm trying to figure out who I am now. You know.
Well, you better hit the question block. Maybe it'll let you know.
Right, man. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, it's like that. What's up? This quick, Eric and Nightcrawler, Johnny Bo. By the way, pretty cool name. And Cheesy, my favorite name of all. Cheesy, what's up, man?
What's going
And
on?
Thank you for the
Don't
invite.
pick his name over mine. That's not cool.
So yeah, it's been good. Thank you for the invite. Good, glad to be back. And games. I've been playing Spider-Man 2 a lot. I love that game. I already beat the entire thing 100%. I just like swinging around for some reason and fighting crimes, right? You know, I'm waiting for that DLC. Hopefully to come one day. And in Nintendo side, Mario Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, and this little blob game that came up. Let me see if I can find the name of it.
Suika game? Is that
But it's
the
so addictive,
fruit?
man. It's super addictive. Hurry up. Hurry up. Caramba. Where is it? Is that one right there? That one right there?
Oh yeah, that is
Suika
Suika game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Metroid?
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Suika
Metroid.
game. Yeah.
I see Metro Prime Remastered.
That's
That's what I'm more excited about.
It's called Suka game, right? Suka? Sika?
Suika?
For
Okay.
some reason, it's taking. You know what? It has taken my number one spot over Mario Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime
Oh
Remastered.
boy.
Number
And,
one spot of like
and
all
also-
That
time.
is that's
That's
some
how
high
addicting
praise.
it is. It's like it's a fruit that you drop first, right? If you drop the same fruit, it turns into another fruit bigger, and then you
Yeah,
keep dropping
yeah.
it.
That game's been pretty popular for a bit now. It was
Yeah.
originally only in Japan, but it's obviously finally in the US. So
Yeah, and it's the kind of game that when you have no clue what to play, just put that one on and just you can spend some time there. But yeah,
a lot of people like it. A lot of people like that game.
I have not 100% Tears of the Kingdom. You know, the depths. I'm terrified. of the depths.
I'm terrified of the depths.
Still haven't defeated.
They haven't turned the lights on down there yet, Mike. That might be a problem.
I know. I'm terrified to turn the lights on. They're too far away. I'm like, I don't want to. It's too far
It's
away.
just one bright bloom seed away.
What?
Yeah, it's just one bright bloom seed away.
I mean, those are the light bulbs.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what a bright
Yeah, that
bloom
big
seed
tree
is?
with the little hump at the.
No,
that-
that's the light root.
egg.
That's the light root.
That's
It's
right.
the things
Those
you
are the big
attach to
things
your
you can throw.
arrows.
You can throw them. Or
Oh
you
yeah,
can
yeah, those little glowing plants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I never. One thing Nate knows, and you guys will learn. I never learned the name of anything. I just go to the game. I play it. Like, ask me what Pokemon is. What? Like, oh, I don't know. That's the yellow
Just
one.
remember, shinies aren't real.
Yeah, shinies aren't real. I've never caught a shiny in my life.
I just got one like yesterday.
Yeah, that's not real. That's not real. It's a
You know,
glitch.
I ran away from my first shiny
It's a
because I
glitch.
thought it was a glitch. I was like 8 years old and I was like, why is this Spearow like golden? This isn't right. And then I ran away from it. And then like a month later, my friend was like, hey, look, my Zubat is green. I was like, maybe I should have caught that Spearow.
No, you did right. You ran away. That was the right choice.
Yeah.
That was the right choice. This is the only choice. All right. Well, you guys know who I am. I am Nintendo Prime. Let me see. What I've been playing lately is pretty easy because I've been doing it on my channel. For those who don't know, I started doing vertical YouTube short streams,
Mhm.
and we've been playing Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And we are now, let me see, 2 dungeons down in the adult side, and now we're in the water temple, which I know I do not like the water temple. We might be here the rest of the week. I have no
Do
idea.
you think playing this game will refresh your memory on the ending?
You know what? buddy?
I had to
I'm
bring
still
that
getting
up.
slammed.
had
Context
to-
for those who don't know, this was like 2 years ago. I had this big thing where I swore the ending of Ocarina of Time was this one thing, and it totally wasn't. And I argued about it for like an hour. And then
Wow.
finally on our podcast, I just literally watched it. And I'm like, oh, shit.
I remember you made a video the next day where you're like, guys, let me explain.
This is embarrassing that I don't remember. And as I'm playing through, I had not played through this game since it came out on, not originally, but when it came out on the 3DS. I beat it one time, and then I never haven't played it again since then. So, but the chat's helped me get through it and everything, and zooming through. Nothing's like a surprise. I know everything that happens, but
Yeah.
it's interesting going back and replaying the N64 version in particular, especially the Water Temple, when I'm quickly reminded that switching back and forth from the boots really sucks.
Yeah.
But
I was
You
not
playing
That's
on
why-
Switch, Wii U, 3DS?
yeah,
What you-
I'm playing it on Switch on NSO. Yep.
Okay.
So
What controller are you using?
just a normal Pro controller.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, 'cause-
where
'cause
where
the C button mapping
the
is a
C
little
sticks
annoying.
are all on the right stick, or you get 2 of them here and here,
Yeah.
and then you still have to use the stick for.
Yeah.
It's really
I
annoying.
remember I played a Star Fox 64 on N64 online with that. And I'm so used to playing that game with a GameCube controller because that's how I did on the Wii Virtual Console. And then playing it on a Pro controller, I was like, "Whoa, this is way too many buttons to press at once."
But it's
Yeah.
I'm having a decent time. I mean, look, it's Zelda. I love Zelda.
Yeah.
There isn't a Zelda game that I actually hate. Like even Phantom Hourglass that I talk about, like I think it's a bad game. I still look. It's got Link. It's got Zelda. It's got Linebeck, and Linebeck's pretty cool. So in the end, I end up having fun with it, even though I'm not the biggest fan of it. But yeah,
There is a bad Zelda game.
you
What is it,
play
Johnny?
Skyward Sword.
Oh
Terrible game.
no, no,
Terrible game.
no! Don't start this. No.
Yeah, do you guys do you
actually
see
like-
how his tag says cheesy is always wrong? You guys now know who's always wrong.
This will be your last podcast.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll leave.
I think Twilight Princess is like the worst one.
And mute him.
Well, what
no.
what is going on? Next thing you know, someone's
Lots
gonna
of
be
hot
like, "Yeah,
takes
Breath of the
coming
Wild,
out here.
Tears of the Kingdom are a bunch of bum games. You shouldn't play those."
Well, I think we all know Tears of the
Overrated.
Kingdom is,
No, here we
is,
go.
Trash.
freaking
We're about
DLC,
to
so-
just. What is happening? Join
I am the
CJ, I
world's
need to
number
call you
one
from the
Skyward
chat.
Sword
You need to come in and defend.
Link's
We need
Awakening
some
number
defense.
1. Link's Awakening number 1.
Holy crow!
Link to the
Whoa.
Past number 2.
We don't even
I
have a
know
Zelda topic.
Nate
It's
is
just
the number one Zelda
happens.
2 defender. I know that.
yeah, Zelda 2 is
I
amazing.
just like the top down ones. And besides Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, my favorite, I like the top down ones with the little Link, the little guy Link. Looking at center. Don't see the
Okay.
chugging.
All right. I'm gonna try not to have a heart attack over here. I don't know what is happening right now. Forgive me. I guess I didn't play Zelda.
Excuse
My
me,
bad.
princess.
I was playing like Mario Kart instead. Okay. Jeez. No one's gonna hate on Wait. Are we gonna get hate on Mario Kart now? Because then I just don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mario
what?
Kart 64
Did you just raise
is
your
a-
hand?
on which
I don't
one?
own it.
Mario Kart from Super Nintendo is the best one.
Holy crap!
You don't hate Mario Kart. Oh,
What did you say is the best one?
The SNES one.
Oh, jeez. All right.
that feels like bait.
That does feel like bait.
It is. I have no clue what I'm talking about.
All right. And for those who don't know, just to let everyone know, I did see we got a super chat coming in. If you guys want to submit questions, our third topic is always Q&A topics. If you guys in the chat want to submit questions, if you're watching our live version, it's just as little as $2, and you can submit your question. We'll answer whatever, and it could be for one of us, it could be for the whole panel. It doesn't really matter, and we will do whatever at that appropriate time. If it's a super chat that you do that's just related to what we're talking about, I'll probably just throw it up while we're talking. But let's get to the elephant in the room. Topic number one.
Hey, I'm losing weight. Okay, I'm on my way there. Okay.
Mike,
I've lost 10 pounds. No need to go there.
I thought you liked Mario Wonder. I was just talking about Elephant Mario. Okay. Anyways, the elephant in the room is, where is this damn Nintendo Direct? Oh boy. Been an interesting day for me, at least. I'm sure it's been an interesting day for many people.
Man,
Because Universal Nintendo stated last week quite emphatically that it was going to happen today. Another insider, Nate the Hate, said it would probably be a partner showcase, but then he kind of was gone all week until today when he's responded to some people. And on top of that, if things weren't worse, because this is what happens, people always feel like the goalposts just keep getting moved. Jeff Grubb came out today, and he actually said this on Tuesday, but nobody paid attention. So he repeated it again today, that the source that he had in the past, Jeff Grubb from Giant Bomb, who informed him way back when the Queen died in the UK that the Nintendo Direct was going to be delayed for that. He was the person who broke that story. That same source he had told him earlier this week that Nintendo was in deep discussions on possibly delaying a Direct this week due to the Xbox show scheduled on Thursday. And it might sound weird. We're going to get to the Xbox stuff later, so we're not really going to dive into that here. Because, you know, we can get into the, was it even, look, there wasn't anything there. Should they have? Okay, look, we can talk about that later. But that I find to be obviously quite fascinating. But again, it's always one of those things that because people didn't pay attention on Tuesday, now it just sounds like a convenient story from another insider moving goalposts around. There's a user named Brazil over on Family Boards being like, hey, I used to leak all the directs, and like it absolutely was scheduled for today, but it is happening next week. Blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't know what's going on. Like, and then on top of that, is it a general? Is it a mini? Like Jeff Grubb's calling it a Nintendo Direct, but then like Nate Hay was like at the partner showcase, and now everyone's like, we don't know what's going on. So what's going on?
And we're only getting closer to Pokemon Day too.
Yeah.
Pokemon Day. It's technically not next week.
That's gonna be a mini.
So
Pokemon
there's a
mini.
little wiggle room. Who wants to go for? I don't even know.
I will say
Talking
something.
about it.
I just realized something. And when you said like, oh, we don't know the format of the Direct, is it a general, is it a mini, or is it a partner? I feel like if the partner Direct is small enough, they could change that partner Direct into a general Direct. If you like, imagine they already have that partner Direct, they just cut up the partner Direct and like edit it in a way that makes it a general Direct, and then film like what's his name, Takahashi, on camera, then they can actually make it a general Direct. But maybe the original plan was a partner Direct, but then because of the Xbox stuff and things that are happening now, maybe next week it might be a general. But I'm still like, I'm not keeping my hopes up for a general. I think it's going to be a partner, and
I don't think there's enough content there for a general.
Yeah,
I think this is gonna be a mini.
I think the only like big things are Zelda remasters, Metroid remasters, and Fire Emblem Remake. That's
No.
Wouldn't the caveat of
that's
that general be is Switch 2 being revealed next month?
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's a tease, but then it's they do its own thing like they did back in January of 2017.
Yep, teased, and then 2 months later, a month later, we get the presentation and then release.
Yeah.
So
They also tweeted everything that would be in a Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tweeted Ease 10, which is like that's a
But
big deal.
So
Like,
to argue with that, before every direct, Nintendo always goes on a little rampage of tweeting games out there because there's a lot of developers who try to make it into the direct. They don't make it into it, and so Nintendo kind of takes that little batch and always retweets a lot of games right before a direct or same week of. So
You think they
Yeah.
forgot to cancel the scheduled tweets then today?
I guess. I mean,
Or yesterday?
when I saw them retweeting or tweeting a lot of games, I thought, wait, they're gonna announce it tomorrow then, or they're gonna announce it later on today because I've always thought that as a sign of them kind of getting ready. Not every game makes it. Twitter is there for them, and
Yeah,
But-
I remember before every direct is usually announced, people are like, "Oh, Twitter direct. Oh, it's going to be a Twitter
Yeah.
direct."
yeah,
So I see what you're getting at there.
yeah. But to answer your next question, I think it's gonna be a direct mini, because partner showcase are normally third-party games, right? They could just put Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door and Luigi's Mansion in there, throw
Yeah.
some dates out there, and just call it a mini, and then everything else
Yeah.
could be, third party and stuff like
They
that.
put
And then-
Silk Song in it. It's big time.
yeah,
I mean, that's all that really matters.
You're not
There's
getting
Silk
Silk
Songs
Song
in
this
it.
year.
And it's a
Caller.
general.
Yes, we are.
as
Yeah.
is a mini.
Every year is Silk Songs here.
And
Well,
when it
I
comes-
made a post today that was the reason why Mario versus Donkey Kong is coming out tomorrow is
Mhm.
because Nintendo is toying with us and they know it. Like I
Wow.
love what they're doing right now. This is very typical Nintendo where they all know we're so hungry for a direct and they're just messing with us. They're like, no, you don't get it this week. You
Mario
want it next
versus
week?
Donkey
Maybe,
Kong.
who knows? But like I also love that they have kind of shown everything that would have been in the direct because like we already know about those games. Think about if they were to show those in a direct with the updates that we got this week, like that's prime for Twitter. We don't need that in a direct. I want to
Yeah.
see things that are completely new.
yeah,
Like
you're right.
Xenosaga HD, which I'm still holding out hope for.
Okay, completely
go.
new. You're right. HD
Yeah.
and something that already exists. Completely.
Yeah,
new.
almost
Yeah.
every other
Yeah,
tweet.
it would have been in a partner showcase. Like, I don't know. Like, if there is a partner showcase, the two things I'm most looking forward to are Team Asano's new game, because I'm sure there's going to be like a Bravely game, or my biggest hope is Chrono Trigger remake, because I feel like there's something happening with Chrono Trigger. And then my second
I
biggest hope
love
is-
how much
is
hope
Xenosaga.
you have for things that don't happen. I love
They-
it.
They need to do Chrono Trigger.
They need to do
like,
Chrono
just
Trigger.
like
They
they
do,
did, just like
yes.
they did Live Alive and
Uh-huh.
Octopath
Yeah,
and
They did
HD2D.
Chrono Cross. If they do
Yeah.
Chrono Cross, why aren't they doing Chrono Trigger?
Still
And the
looks
thing
crappy,
is,
though.
like, Square Enix is like mentioning Chrono Trigger a lot
yeah,
with the anniversary and the music and all that. And they're doing the same with Xenogears, but that's not going to happen.
I would love it
Xenogears is
for them
not-
to give it like an Octopath kind of look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
HD 2D it.
Be awesome, yeah. Nate, I have an answer for the Nintendo Direct why they moved it, but it also involves a little bit of the Xbox thing. I'll leave it to you whether I can answer that or not. Or do I-
Sure.
Um,
I'll reach over there and strangle you if it's too much.
no, it's not. It's not too much. No, it's not too much. Well, Jeff Grubb did say that. He mentioned that there's a possibility of it being moved. It has happened in the past, so we can't really rule that out. And
Yeah.
of course, Microsoft and Xbox, they have a good relationship. They do. And the only reason I believe that this will be moved is that first thing, look at the outrage that happened, online with the other company. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to go to that, but
You're good.
the
You're good.
outrage, that oh my god, third party is going third party, blippity blip, like be quiet, it didn't happen. It's not happening. But they did mention there was 4 games that were coming. What if these 4 games were to be announced in the Nintendo Direct? And so if they would have not done the presentation and Nintendo would have talking about these 4 games, the storm that would have came up. It's true, they are going third party, blah, 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 I'm like, so I'm guessing this, the Xbox presentation had to happen first in order to when Nintendo shows that partner presents whatever, and they show
Mhm.
that
High
Rush
Five, whatever,
game,
yeah.
and then they come with these 4 games that people know. Okay, they talked about it here. It's not that they're going third party; it's that these 4 games are actually coming to Nintendo Switch, so they have to kind of rearrange when the Nintendo Direct will be in order to ease what was happening, because it was getting out of line. A lot of people were just
Yeah.
insults
Well,
and everything. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think some of that also had to do with when it. I firmly believe one of the games is in this direct, whatever this direct is, one of them. And it wasn't, and Microsoft wasn't planning to do the podcast this week. It wasn't supposed to happen. I think it was supposed to drop there, and then Microsoft would drop their reaction next week. Is probably what the plan was. But then all those leaks and rumors were slapping so hard last week, and there was so much outrage that Microsoft was like, man, we got to try to get out in front of this as much as we can. Let Nintendo know that we're going to do this thing. And then Nintendo, obviously might have considered, okay, then maybe we'll hold off. Just please don't announce the game, what the games are in your thing, if we're going to have it in our thing. So it can still be somewhat of a surprise, even though all the reports are out there about what the 4 games are. We'll get to that in the next topic. So we kind of already know.
It was interesting they didn't name the 4 games at the. I didn't watch the podcast.
Yeah,
but
they didn't name them. They just gave like really good details on what the games are.
Yeah,
two community games and 2 smaller games.
2 smaller games. Okay.
They also mentioned that we will be hearing about them soon through other developers.
That was
he said he didn't want to take the wind out of anybody's sails for like their announcement. So I mean,
their
that's
announcements,
definitely
and it's like
something in a direct then for that announcement.
Because they said, oh yeah, our next thing's in June. Okay, well that's not soon. Okay, I mean, and that's like you're basically saying a direct or something's happening. Like there's announcements coming from other companies for our games. Like we just had a state of play, so you figure it's got to be Nintendo then that they were probably referencing there.
It all seems just a little weird because Mike, I hear everything that you're saying, but they waited a whole week to basically just say that 4 games are going to the other consoles. We didn't have to wait a whole week for that, and they still could have had a direct this week.
Yeah, and that's why Nate was saying that this wasn't planned. This wasn't planned. This was like, it looks like everything was like a last.
I think this was something that they were thinking they might address next week, and they probably had like a different way they were going to do it. But then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, everyone's all mad at us. We got to react now.
Yeah, because
the Xbox thing wasn't a live thing. It was pre-recorded. It was just released at a certain time on YouTube. It was 20 minutes long. I think everyone was anticipating it being longer and actually getting the announcement
because they said it was the Xbox their podcast that they do, and they're usually an hour-long episode. So like, so everyone was just expecting this to be okay. It's going to be like a nice casual sit down. They're just going to, answer the questions and do their things, and it might even be live. And then they're like, nope, we're being very corporate. Which to me is like that was not the plan, I don't think. But a lot of this though kind of lends to the fact that look, a lot of people are let down today. I mean, just to be fair, rumors are rumors. You shouldn't believe them. You should always take them with massive truckloads of salt and everything. Rumors, literally, the definitions of that is to be skeptical. It's not something we can prove. But the reality is, the stuff was coming from people that seemingly have been reliable in the past. And that's what led to a lot of people being super excited for it today, especially, let alone, anytime this week, people just hoping for it. And to be fair, this goes beyond rumors. Nintendo themselves, 8 of the last 9 years, they've done February directs, and they've always happened in the first 2 weeks. So like Nintendo set the expectation for something, even if it wasn't going to be a general direct, which is what a lot of us would like a general. We'd like to see like a Metroid Prime 4 and some crazy stuff. But if the Switch 2 is actually going to be revealed soon, then you can understand why they're holding all that stuff in until that reveal. And that presumes that here's the problem. It didn't happen this week, and the rumors for the Switch 2 reveal are coming from the same people who said this week. So then it's like, do we doubt all the stuff for Switch 2 in March? Or do we just go, this is a one-off. Maybe Jeff Grubb was right and everyone didn't know what got pushed, and it is what it is. Also, I will say this. If the direct happens next week and there's an Xbox game in it, I think that's a confirmation that it probably got pushed.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we could probably as a community agree on that. Okay, then that Jeff Grubb story was probably correct, because we're never going to get a confirmation. Nintendo's never going to come out and admit they pushed it because they didn't announce it yet. Like when they delayed the Queen one, they already announced the direct, so like they had to address it. Another thing too to consider is if they delayed it, there's probably nothing like mission critical in this direct, like no shadow drop games. No, because those would have been scheduled to go up and go on sale. And obviously they have I know, right? No major demos and nothing coming like really soon. This is all going to be like partner games coming out down the line to fill out the slate for Switch.
The agreement they had with third parties to have them in a direct spot. That's what it's going to be. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. we've heard some details of how those agreements work. Like third parties don't always know what direct.
Yeah, they don't know the format of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Nate
But
the
they're
Hate was saying
like
that,
it's a
yeah.
contract. Like they're going to be in a direct. Like it's just going to happen. Nintendo has to do it. It's kind of weird how Nintendo does those contracts,
Yeah.
but so yeah. Look, is there a direct next week? It's not like I know. Am I Nintendo? I know Nintendo is in my username, but I'm not Nintendo. I
Yeah.
don't have any sources on any of this stuff.
And
but
when
it's
plans
wild,
change,
man.
not everyone is going to know. Like,
No.
I mean, Jeff
Yeah.
Grubb was in the know, but maybe Necrofilipe and Nate the Hate didn't know. But
Yeah.
it probably did happen.
Insiders, like you said, it's a layup to guess that there's a direct in February because it's
Yeah.
history.
February,
tends
June,
to
and September.
speak that it should be happening. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just throwing that against the wall and hoping it sticks is not a far-fetched thing.
Yeah. And if it's a partner showcase, hey, the first person who told us it would be was Nate the Hate. So I mean, then technically he was right about the format, which is interesting because again, they haven't done a partner showcase in February like in a long, long time. So maybe even ever. I got to go back and check. The closest was a Nintendo Direct Mini, I think, in 2020, which was just a normal mini, and that was in March. So
Yeah. I think of the October partner showcase was shadow dropped.
yeah, that was shadow dropped. Yep.
Yes.
So was the mini in March. and
Yes, the mini
then-
in March was shadow dropped. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so that's why everyone's like, well, Nintendo Shadow dropped before. They could do it again. Yeah, they absolutely could.
Will we get it tomorrow? Do you think we get it
You're
tomorrow?
right.
I mean,
On a Friday. That'll
Early-
be
early in
that'll
the
be our
morning.
first ever Friday direct. I
We've
think,
never, yeah,
right?
Really?
Fridays,
I
yeah.
feel like there's never been a Friday direct at
I
all.
don't think
No,
so.
It's
There
a
has
month
been
or
a
two.
Monday one once. There
Did
was
they-
one
did-
on Monday.
When was the
one
Monday
time.
direct?
This
Was that
was
a
like
Wii U
back
one?
in the Wii U era, and
Yeah.
like
I know they did like a New
Year's.
Year's Eve direct. Like
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
They
the
did
Wii
an
U
April
era.
Fool's direct, and they're like, "This is no joke. This is a real
This
direct."
is not a joke. This is
Yeah.
real. Like we're not lying to you.
Yeah.
Was
I
that
have
just
a-
a tweet
tomorrow is a long day
for
too,
Sports
so-
Story when that came out? Was that just a tweet?
Oh, Sports Story was
Hmm.
the summer 2022.
Well, no,
No,
like the release, because didn't it like
it was
just
an indie
all of
one,
a sudden came
right?
out on New Year's Eve, right? Or like
No, Golf Story might have done that. Sports Story was an Indie World in 2022, I think. Indie World or Partner Showcase.
It was
Not
like
sure.
the advent calendar when they were
oh,
releasing.
that's right. It was
or
the
talking
final thing in the
about-
advent calendar. You're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they knew
I
it
kn-
was
I
going
knew
to
it kinda just
disappoint
all
you,
of a
so they
sudden
didn't
came
want
out.
to
Yeah.
advertise it too much.
I have a question, guys. When do you think, if these games are even happening? Because I was very doubtful of some of these games, not all of them, but like ever since like 2021. But if Twilight Princess Wind Waker, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and Fire Emblem 4 Remake are happening, when are they announced? If they even exist? Because I'm still like skeptical on Twilight Princess Wind Waker.
Well, so far we have 5 games already out for Nintendo Switch that are scheduled, and we have another code. This month is Mario versus Donkey Kong. Next month is Princess Peach, and then we have 2 more games without date. Right, those 5 games for this
Yeah.
year.
Luigi's
So,
Mansion
scheduled.
and Thousand Year
Yeah.
Door.
Nintendo normally doesn't release a game, or hasn't released a game at least for the last 2 years in December. They kind of end in the last big game for the year in November. But this is a Switch 2 year. I mean, it's a transition year.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether all those games are going to come out this year. If they ever do, if maybe we get maybe one of those to kind of extend. I know that apparently there's quote from the president Furukawa that they're supporting the Switch till 2025 in March, which is the end of the fiscal year that starts now next month.
Yeah.
So the same thing. It's like the same year. It's like the same year. But I don't know. I think for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, because they've already have an HD version on the Wii U, why not just wait for the Switch 2 and do what Twilight Princess 4K,
Exactly. Twilight Princess
You know?
and Wind Waker shouldn't.
Or
I don't know.
4K, whatever.
I've talked about this in the past, but I feel like other remasters are more of a priority.
Remakes
than
though,
Twilight-
all the remakes on the other hand, that's another different beast. I don't think a remake
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
at the end of the Switch, like the
Is-
Ocarina of Time remake.
Well, and Seasons and Ages is rumored too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Season and
yeah.
by Grezzo, that could be a possibility.
we're not getting
See-
another mainline Zelda for a while, so I think Switch 2 launches. We get those remakes for the Seasons games, maybe the Ocarina of Time also, and then that'll give us kind of some leeway until we get the next.
All of
big
that
game.
would just make me literally. I might have a heart attack of excitement instead of a heart attack of worry. Well,
My thing is with Metroid Prime 2 and 3, if 4 is coming out this year. It would be weird if Prime 2 and 3 come out after 4. So I think either Metro Prime 2 and 3 are happening this year or never. But that also like depends on when Metro Prime 4 is coming. But also Fire Emblem 4 Remake is very interesting because it was supposedly done for like the past 3 or 4 years now. Because it was supposed to come out in between in between Three Houses and Engage.
Mhm.
And Engage was supposed to come out in 2020, but it came out in 2023. So like why are they holding on to Fire Emblem 4 for so long? Because I was so certain it would be announced at the September Direct that I made like a tweet saying like Fire Emblem 4, I'm so excited to finally play this game. It's been so long. I never played the SNES version. I'm gonna finally play it on Switch. And then the next day I was like,
you liar.
yeah, all my friends were like,
they got to find a way to tie it into
Yeah.
the Fire Emblem Heroes
Yeah.
on the mobile app.
yeah,
some
Yeah.
way.
yeah.
Everything
They
you
gotta
got
do
That's
some
their
more
Thanks for
moneymaker.
playing the
That's their
remake.
moneymaker in Japan. So
everything you're mentioning warrants a full direct instead of mini or a showcase.
Yeah.
Warrants a full direct.
Yeah.
So
See,
how much-
I like
how much hate
Jeff
comes
Grubb.
from just remakes though, like or remasters. Like
Yeah.
that if it's all just full of that, like people aren't gonna. The old people will be excited, I guess, but like,
It would be like another September Direct.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because what we saw sales numbers for Prime Remastered, right, and it wasn't great.
Yeah. It wasn't as good as
No,
I
it
thought.
wasn't.
it
And
would
I
be.
don't even know how well Zelda remakes would do. Like Wind Waker would probably, if that dual pack came out with Twilight Princess, it would
Yeah.
probably do okay. But like, again, it's not.
I will
the
say
fact that-
Link's
that-
Awakening sold more than Skyward Sword HD, as much as I
Mm.
hate to hear that. And
I
Johnny
love
Because
it.
it
might
deserves
be
it.
ha-
It deserves
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, but then also
Johnny-
Tears of the Kingdom fell
No.
off like this last
Yeah.
It only sold 2 million after the initial like 18 million it sold.
I think it's because people know that we have Switch 2 coming and maybe they're just waiting for it to play
Waiting
in
for
high
the
resolution.
upgrade.
You're waiting for the deluxe version.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe this game is
Well,
good, but I think it's a little
they
better.
killed hype for that, saying they aren't making DLC too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Instead of just being quiet and then people wait,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let us all assume we're getting it,
Yeah,
and then
right?
and then ruin our days.
Yeah, later on. Well,
I
I
think
think to answer
Cheesy was
your-
talking about Jeff Grubb for a moment. All I heard was,
Mhm.
"I like Jeff Grubb." I'm like, "Oh,
I like Jeff Grubb. I like
Do
what
you
he
really
does.
like Jeff Grubb, or are you just saying that because he's?
cool guy. He's a cool guy.
I
Well,
like
he kept getting
Jeff
cut
Grubb.
off, so he's like,
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I can get out
I was
there.
making an Anchorman reference, but
I got it. I
it went
got it.
over
I
cheesy.
got it. I got it.
I said I got it. Anyway,
The beard's pretty cool.
I like Jeff Grubb. I like what he does, but there is a reason why he had to shave his hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
He
of
was
the
wrong
thing.
about
Right.
Metroid.
Not
The-
because
the
of
Also
Metroid
said that
and
we
the
were gonna
Zelda.
get
Yeah. Wind Waker and
remakes
Twilight-
of
yeah.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
a lot
That
of
hasn't
people
happened
missed.
yet either.
A lot of people missed on Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. There was a
Yeah.
lot.
That
of
one's like,
people said it
and
was
that's like a
happening.
layup, right? Like, oh, they're already HD versions. They're on the Wii U. They'll just bring them over
Actually.
eventually.
Yeah. You know what? You know what sucks for Jeff Grubb? He did have to shave his hair, and hey, to his credit, he did it right on a live stream. He had his head shaved
Yeah.
by a buddy in a garage. He didn't go to some salon. It was a rough cut.
That's
it was
hilarious.
bad.
That's funny.
It was very bad. But you know how much you had to feel like 2 months later, shadow drop. It's like clearly he knew it was done. He was just
Yeah.
so confident they wouldn't wait.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
I
done.
think-
It's ready.
he saw it. Either he saw it or Emily Rogers saw the game.
Yeah.
I think-
Well, yeah. Oh, back in the Emily Rogers days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she was like, I've seen the game and it's not just a remaster. It's a very, very good remaster.
Well, but she has also said that we're getting 2 and 3, right?
That's
don't-
more of a Jeff Grubb thing. He was like, it's gonna be
Yeah.
they're going to come, but they're not gonna be as remastered as one.
Yeah. And
Which is
has-
kind of
and he-
sad, but it's
He
whatever.
learned after one. I'm not saying what is happening. It's just
Yeah.
whenever it comes out, it comes out.
What else
Yeah.
can I shave? I don't know.
but then again, he did donate his hair to the Locks thing. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of hair.
yeah,
So-
it was. It was.
Oh man. Okay. So, do you guys all think we're getting a direct next week?
Yep. I'll say
yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
I think it
Yeah.
has to be
I-
next week. It can't be the week after.
yeah,
I'll be optimistic.
I think
yes.
because the week after is Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
week after is Pokemon, so
Yeah.
that there will be a Pokemon present.
Yeah, there's already stuff
that
announced
week.
for the Pokemon. Like, yeah.
That's on what the
Yeah.
27th is Pokemon
the
Day, right?
27th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next
The
week,
thing
Direct.
is-
Next following week, Pokemon Presents. Then 2 weeks more, we get the Nintendo
Switch
Switch
2.
2 reveal.
I love this. I love this pipe dream of like
Yeah.
everything just hitting. Like
Yeah.
That's what I.
4
That's
weeks.
what I like to hear. The
I mean, that's what I
delusion
want
of
to happen,
Nintendo
by the
fans.
way.
That's what I like.
I want 3 out of 4 weeks to just be Nintendo blowouts. That's great.
Right.
That's what
On Mario
Andres
Day, they
was
could do
talking
Switch
about
2
in one of
reveal
his
on Mario Day.
videos. He said
Right?
that.
Isn't the
Yeah.
Switch reveal have to happen before the game developer conference, right?
That's what Nate the Hate said he thought would happen
Okay.
because Nintendo, because he basically Nintendo's going to be at GDC. That's already confirmed. They got multiple panels they're doing.
Awesome.
But he's assuming that that's another opportunity where they're around a bunch of developers, where behind the scenes they might want to talk to partners about it. And just like at GDC, what happened when they did it? Stuff leaked out.
Mm.
So to not
Gamescom,
care about
you
things
mean,
leaking
right?
out,
Yeah.
you just reveal the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's
Because then
assuming
it's not like a secret anymore.
everyone thinks Capcom has a Switch 2 title with the
Yeah,
Monster
Dragon's
Hunter
Monster
game.
Hunter, yeah.
Oh, dude, totally. Come on.
Now the
Yeah.
question is, will there be a pre-order?
Visions of Mana is
following the
probably on it
trailer?
already too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Visions of
And,
Mana, I
yeah.
think, is a launch title because Visions of Mana
Looks
doesn't even
so
have a
good.
release date yet.
Looks so
It's
good.
just
yeah,
summer
they're waiting.
2024.
I think
Yeah.
they're just waiting. We're just waiting for the Switch 2. We're gonna announce
Which is
it
kind of
with them.
surprising that they put it in the Xbox thing. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want to wait. They're like, look, we're really excited about this thing. It's really like practically done. We're not gonna wait on Nintendo. We just want to get it out here. We just want to get it out
Also,
here.
Yeah. Well,
This
It's
is
the
guys-
only game they showed, not on Game Pass.
All right, I
Yeah.
want to throw this out there. We're not saying there will be a direct next week. Okay, we're just giving our opinion. This is just that's what we feel. Is not that we're actually
Can
saying.
I
it's
say
not-
it? Can I say
Yeah.
what I'm saying? this one?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, look,
It's
if
not
you
even a
want to
rumor.
say my sources say,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
It's not
take
even a
the, I'll
rumor at
take the
this point.
fall. I don't care.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
there
not
supposed to
even
be a Donkey Kong game too? Donkey Kong
sweet.
Country.
You know what? You're welcome every week. You can take the fall for my whole channel every week. I love it.
Actually, I think somebody tweeted at you and was like, "Miss Striker videos."
Necro Felipe Lima. Hey, someone brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those
What is that?
insiders,
That
and
is
he got
so intense,
dude. He got so much crap today, like because he was the primary source on it happening today.
Mhm.
And then like I put out a tweet saying, I don't think it's happening, guys. I kept getting DMs about it. I'm like, I just, it was already like almost noon. I'm like, I don't think it's
Yeah.
happening anymore. And you know what? I don't know if I'm going to cover Necro Felipe for a little bit. I'm going to wait till some of his stuff starts to hit. And apparently he took offense to that, probably because he was already being attacked. And he's like, you ever cover anything I do again, I'm going to copyright strike your channel. Like, that's not really how this
Oh
works.
wow.
Heck,
I didn't see
wow.
that.
That's not really how that works, buddy. But
That is a sore loser.
yeah.
Yeah, that tweet
I-
was going around in our private Discord.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't see
It's
that.
literally like it can't be done. Like it's not. That's not how it works. It's actually copyright abuse and can actually get him in trouble. So
Yeah, you can't copyright something for
That's
for
not-
covering what we
you
said.
say something publicly, people are allowed to talk about it. Like,
Yeah,
that's not.
exactly.
And you don't own it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's unfortunate that you don't, but that's just the
hilarious.
way it is. You could bitch about people not sourcing you. That's fine, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
always source. I always source. So
That's hilarious.
I think if
I
there's a
just
direct
think he's having a
happening-
hard time. I tried to be really cool and nice about it. I'm like, dude, I get it, man. Like, if this is the first time you've had this kind of major backlash, like,
Mhm.
I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I get backlash every week. So I guess I'm kind of used to it. But for people, someone like him, it's like, oh, no. I mean, he's got
Welcome
people
to the
talking.
internet.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I'm gonna after your mother. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. I get a comment like that like every other day. I'm still waiting for it to happen. My mom's
Be
not
more
single, but I'm
original.
still waiting for it.
That is horrible.
Like, dude, the internet's just nasty, man.
Man.
Yeah, it's really wonderful at times. A lot of you guys watching now, you're very wonderful, but it gets pretty nasty out there. So
Mhm.
gotta have a
I had
very
Reddit
thick
set up
skin.
about me.
It's easy to be brave behind the.
Dude, Reddit
keyboard.
hates me too. So yeah. Dude, Reddit's hated me for a long time. It is what it is. You know why? It's because I talk about rumors, and that's just
Yeah.
when you're in the rumor space, that's the way it's gonna go.
I
You gotta take
remember
the
you
good
were
with the
pretty
bad.
popular on the Tears of the Kingdom subreddit.
Oh, they hated the hell out of me. And then I was correct about something that I actually had a source on from Nintendo. And then like half the Reddit's like, oh, but he's still a piece of crap. And the other half's like, yeah, but
Yeah, but from
he's right.
Gamescom, right?
he was 100% right. I
Okay.
don't know what we're supposed to do about that. We're supposed to hate him, but he's right. Well,
Whoops.
the funny thing is, I'm still on that subreddit's. It's kind of, that subreddit was very weird because they also have a Discord server, and pretty much half the people there like me and half the people don't. It was a very interesting conundrum. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Moving on with my day.
Yeah.
This isn't about people liking me or not. We can move on.
As for the direct, I will say I think if it's happening anytime this month, it'll happen next week because as we said, Pokemon will happen after that, and then they usually don't do anything else in March.
People, that's
And-
his opinion, people.
Yeah,
If that thing doesn't
but-
happen,
I think
disclaimer.
I think April will if the Switch 2 is announced in March, I think April is gonna be like the big showcase.
Mhm.
Unless they announce it in March and do the big showcase in March as well, I think the big showcase will be April or May.
The question is,
but-
will they start pre-orders after the initial trailer?
Oh, when did they do
No.
it for Switch? I don't remember because I didn't
They
get
did
my
it. They did it
Switch.
after the January.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
after
January
the-
release.
Yeah, 'cause that's when they
$9
announced the
reveal.
price.
I was up,
Okay,
I was up at
after the-
3 a.m. trying to pre-order the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time around, there's 10 million units. Let's see if we can at least get one of them.
It's not enough. I got to buy like 6 right off the bat.
I have to buy 3. I gotta buy this knucklehead Eric over there one. I gotta buy one to
That's
give
right,
away.
he won it.
This whole saving my Tears of the Kingdom save file cost me probably a cool $800, so that's nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, basically I got on a death wheel on a stream. I got
Mhm.
delete your Tears of the Kingdom save file.
I remember that.
So I gave myself an
crazy.
angel wheel where every $100 I get to spin that wheel, and there was like a 1 out of 5 chance that I could save my Tears of the Kingdom save file. So if we hit 500, I'd be guaranteed. But the thing is, everything else on the wheel actually had to be negative, because what's the point if you just say, oh, it's hit a certain amount and you save my file? No, it's like a game. First thing that hits, oh, I gotta buy Eric Switch 2 because he had to delete his Tears of the Kingdom save file and he didn't get an angel wheel. So I'm like, I gotta do something nice for Eric on there. Oh, okay. I gotta buy him one. And then the second one that spins. Damn it. Now I gotta give the chat one. Third one that hits. Oh, now you gotta do the bomb hot sauce.
That was
Thanks.
hilarious. That was fun. That was
Thanks.
a play stream.
The bomb beyond insanity hot, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was like giveaway, like 5 $20 gift cards in the chat. That one hit a 50-50 chance. We're gonna get it this time.
Yeah.
Nope. And
Nope.
then literally we hit the 500 to get the 5th spin, like right at the end of the stream. And I'm like, I don't know if I want this anymore. Can I just refund?
delete
So, like, this $500 is cool, but look, after YouTube tapes are cut and everything, I'm still spending like another $700. So yes, this is awesome. This was totally worth it to save my. Why did I should have just restarted. Should have just restarted. Anyways,
Wheel
I hadn't
reset.
beat the game yet at the time either, so that was one reason why I didn't want to restart. So let's get into the Xbox stuff, I suppose. Right? We've been kind of teetering around it, bringing up a few things about it. And I know on a Nintendo podcast, it might feel weird to bring up Xbox stuff, but look, there's a lot of as much as it was like a nothing burger, there was a lot of like really big things in it that
I agree.
wasn't explained. And the thing they spent the most time on was obviously 4 games. Like that's the big thing for us Nintendo fans. 4
Mhm.
games coming to other platforms that, as we noted earlier, will be some of them will be announced in a partner something later.
Yeah.
And not tent poles as well, like
yeah,
everyone
not-
thought.
Yeah, not tent poles. Although some of that stuff got rescinded.
Yet.
But anyways,
Yes.
because he clarified that that Starfield and Indiana Jones are not.
Nope.
That's right. Now the funny thing is he didn't use
Starfield
the
could
words.
probably use it though. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
They can, yeah.
Yeah,
Use it.
probably. But he didn't use the words like for now. What he said only 4 games, and I sat there. I'm like, you mean only 4 games for now? Because he's like 4 games that have been on Xbox for at least a year. I'm like, okay, so let's get like 2 years removed from Starfield and 2 years removed from Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
Are they then coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch 2? You know,
Well,
it's like
The
you're
the
setting
conversation they
precedent.
had, yes, for sure.
Yeah, like you're setting the precedent that you're willing, and then they had all that mixed messaging, like, hey, dude, exclusives don't really matter as much anymore. Look at all the biggest games; they're
Trying to hit
everywhere.
Nintendo.
Xbox is everything. Like if you play Minecraft on PS5, you're an Xbox gamer. I'm like, I don't think anybody actually thinks that. Just to be clear here, but you can keep saying that they're an Xbox gamer because they play Minecraft. It's cool.
I'm a
Uh,
PC gamer, so I'm technically an Xbox gamer.
Yeah, right. And then
Yeah.
he says, "Oh, but we got to rein it back in for a moment. Oh, we hear you, people that actually play on our Xbox." I'm like, okay, this is the most confusing messaging ever. We are keeping some games exclusive because we know what I'm like, well, you just said that you shouldn't do it. You just said it should be everywhere. And now you're saying, but we are still I'm just confused. There are some positives. If you want to look at the positive, Sarah Bond just slipped out there that the next generation of Xbox consoles hardware is going to be basically the largest leap forward in console history. I don't know what that. Are we about to literally one up the Apple Vision Pro, and we're just going to be in the game?
Is that the one that was leaked that was adorably all digital?
No.
That round.
That's a revision, right?
No. They also said new hardware is dropping this holiday. That's probably the thing. That's probably the thing dropping this holiday.
Oh yeah, we got new hardware this holiday. Okay,
they also confirmed that Game Pass will not be coming to other consoles ever.
Yeah, only mobile phones and TVs.
It will only be on PC and on Xbox. And then they said again, but remember, hey, you're an Xbox gamer. If you're on another platform playing our games, whatever, man. Good luck telling Call of Duty players on PlayStation 5 that you're now an Xbox gamer.
We're PlayStation gamers playing MLB The Show everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then, gosh, there was like a couple other things they said in there.
So you want me to go?
Everything's going to Game Pass, which is something they said before, but it was important they repeated it because there was a lot of rumors that maybe Call of Duty and other games wouldn't end up on Game Pass. And they're just like, no, everything's coming to Game Pass. And then that's when they dropped the Diablo 4 Game Pass release date of March 28th.
I spent $100 on that game and barely played it. And now it's going to be free.
Now it's going to be free.
Crazy,
you could have just spent that $100 for a year of Game Pass.
Yep.
The other systems are subsidizing the Game Pass costs because there's no way they're making money on Game Pass if they put Call of Duty and all those other games on there. So
well, that's what they kind of said. What they said, Phil Spencer was talking about, either you find a way to monetize the people you already have, or you find a way to expand and reach a larger audience. So reach a larger audience and keep only charging me I don't even know what I pay. It's auto deducted. So 16 something a month for Ultimate. I don't know.
And even though go to like 30 and you won't know.
I was paying 30, but I was paying off my console when I did the
oh yeah, I remember the
pay as you go kind of thing.
They mentioned that 4 community driven games will come into platforms.
No, two
community driven and 2 single player.
So Sea of Thieves, that's given.
Sea of Thieves.
What's the other one?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Grounded.
For the community.
Pentiment.
Okay.
Pentiment.
Okay.
So we actually have a report on it from Tom Warren. I don't know. I put it in the doc. So I'm not really surprised because all this stuff started leaking last week. So I'm not really surprised that we already know what the 4 are, even though it's not official, right? Nothing's official until it's actually announced. If we haven't learned anything, we learned that about Nintendo this week. But so like those are 4. By the way, those are 4 really good games. Like that's what's nice is like while they're not like their big IPs, their big IPs was Starfield, which was actually rated below all 4 of these games. And then it was Redfall, which also is rated even lower. So technically we're getting like the best games they've actually released recently. Like Hi-Fi Rush was like very highly reviewed. Like it's insane that but again, these games probably didn't perform as well for them. And they're like, hey, we could just put these over here. I will say this. As someone who's played Hi-Fi Rush, I didn't beat it, but I played it quite a bit. I think that game perfectly fits with the Switch audience.
Yeah, I know a lot of people on Switch who would definitely buy that, definitely play that game, and a lot of people I know who actively play on PC or Xbox didn't give it a shot, but they're like, "Oh, it's on Xbox, and maybe I'll give it a shot." But I know people on Switch will definitely play it, and
I think
it's
4
a
games
really good
are.
game. Yeah,
I think the 4 games that they're bringing, if they're true, are perfect fits for the Nintendo audience.
And should be able to run. Like
Pentiment is a good handheld game. Yeah,
too demanding.
See if these ran on Xbox One, so I think it'll be fine. But it's one of those things where like I don't think Sea of Thieves is going to get announced now. They might even just make that a Switch 2 version. We'll see.
That might be a June kind of
as long as they have cross
playable
play.
now everywhere.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
they just got to have crossplay with that game, so everyone that joins early in the Switch 2 life has a community to play with. Because
They did
you don't
mention
wanna-
crossplay and cross progression, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're going to have to sign into your Xbox.
Yeah, you might have to,
your
like,
Xbox
go-
account.
yeah, it could be kind of like a like the big thing they're gonna have to do is not they can't require that you have Xbox Live if it's gonna be on Switch.
Mhm.
They got it like that's just not gonna fly with.
Well, just like
consumers.
Fortnite, you don't have to have Xbox.
Yeah,
Live
it'll
to
be
play
like Fortnite, where you like you have your Nintendo account, and then you open up Fortnite, but then you log into their system. All that I think that's all they need to do. So you can like have a free Xbox account, but
Well-
if you're playing on Switch, you won't have to be subscribed.
Same thing you have to do for Minecraft. You have to have a Xbox
Yeah.
Live.
but you don't have to. It doesn't be an actively paid.
Yeah,
account
it just
for
has
that.
to be a
So I think that's what they'll
email
do.
you
That way they
registered.
can connect all the ecosystems together. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, I'm fine with that. That's what all those multi-platform games do. They have to have a universal account system in order to unify it. So
Did Epic blow up the fact that PlayStation was charging game developers like weren't they charging them extra to have crossplay, or it was restriction? It was something that Epic kind of disrupted, but I don't remember what it was with it was PlayStation specifically. Were they charging them, or was it?
good question.
Because I know it was something tied into that it was putting PlayStation kind of on an island, and then Epic kind of called them out on it, and then it got better. But I would think that if they're going to bring stuff over to PlayStation too, like
Eric's got the story dragged up right now. What do
So,
we got?
well, this was May 2021, so I don't know if that's
It's okay.
anything. Sony charges for cross-play support to protect PSN revenue. Documents show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I think they've been doing for a while.
so. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's probably disrupted at this point, but if PlayStation has a chance to stick it to Microsoft, I'm sure they would try.
Maybe.
Yeah, they
The
could've-
PlayStation makes so much revenue, like off Call of Duty and stuff. I don't know. They really
Yeah,
wanna
I guess
mess
they
with
got that to hang over their head now.
I mean,
so-
didn't Sony's like CEO just come out and say like we need to find a way to make our gaming stuff more profitable because even though we made $9.3 billion in revenue, we only made like $100 million in profits, which is insane. It shows you are massively overspent. Apparently, just looking at the documents, it looks like Spider-Man 2, even selling 10 million copies, isn't profitable yet, which to me is just insane. Like, what kind of budget do you have? Like, it was a $70 game. What kind of budget do you have set that it's not profitable at 10 mil? That I don't even. And like, your half those sales are digital, so it's even more profitable. And I don't know. Like, their budgets must be way out of control. They're spending.
I bought a collector's edition, and the game I got
Man.
wasn't even physical. It was a code. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're spending on I don't. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the quality of their games. Of course they're good, but they're also spending so much. When like Mario Wonders outsold it and was probably made on a shoestring budget, and they're just laughing to the bank.
Mhm.
Like, by the way, I'm not saying I don't want these. I don't want the quality of the experiences to go down, and I understand that the high budgets is what enables some of this stuff. But it's like, man, you need a different strategy, Sony, and
It's
that's why
not
they
sustainable.
they started
Yeah.
talking about like, hey, we got to bring more stuff to maybe other platforms or come to PC even sooner. And I'm
Well,
like,
and
man,
look at PlayStation this year. They don't have anything. They're relying
Yeah,
solely on
nothing
third
this
party.
fiscal year.
nah,
they're saying.
it's kind of a misnomer. They don't have anything from their major franchises. They're gonna have new IP come out.
Yeah, but is that just like Rise of Ronin, like what we know about?
Well, the state of play was pretty good, but I don't know if any of that was theirs though.
There's no first
Um,
party
They're
stuff.
I don't think
publishing
anything
something,
there was
right?
there.
They're publishing
No-
Rise of Ronin.
nothing
Death
first
Stranding.
party.
Isn't
Yeah,
Death
There was
Stranding?
there were
Death Stranding 2,
exclusives.
yeah, Death Stranding 2, but I don't think that comes out this year.
But
That's
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 a
2025. I
Kojima
think.
production though too.
Rise of
Yeah.
Ronin is PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, Rise of
They're
Ronin.
all
They paid for that.
exclusive, but they're not first party. Like
What about
Yeah.
Stellar Blade? Is that exclusive too?
Stellar
Yeah,
Blade
I think so.
is
And
I
those are
think
new
it's- I think
IPs,
it's also multiplat. I mean, I think it was originally multiplat, but now it's like a PS5
Well, I mean,
exclusive.
They also have
eventually
Final
going
Fantasy
multiplat.
Rebirth.
Yeah,
But that's
Yeah,
what Sony
Rebirth.
does. They write fat checks,
yeah.
which I mean, according to their CEO, hasn't
Yeah.
been working out. So maybe they should stop doing that.
Stellar Blade was initially when it was Project Eve, it was multiplat, but then Sony put in some of their own development teams on it and funded the game.
Yeah, they're
So I think it's-
publishing the
yeah.
game. Yeah, it's
So I think it's going
they're
PS5
publishing.
exclusive first, and then
Yeah.
going elsewhere. But the
Yep.
thing is, a lot of these games are going to eventually go multi-plat, and if they eventually go to PC, I feel like I'll mostly get them on PC. Like the only game that I'm getting like day one for PS5 right now in like my immediate like long term is Rebirth, because I want to
Well,
play it day
ev-
one and avoid spoilers and all that.
Doesn't every PlayStation exclusive like after 2 years go to PC now, anyways?
Well,
Yeah,
they aren't doing
so
a good job.
I'm
with it.
expecting God of War Ragnarok to be announced soon. I'm wondering why Ghost of Tsushima hasn't been announced.
Yeah, that's one that I'm surprised they
Yeah.
haven't done yet.
They'll
Demon
tie
Souls
that, they'll
versus
tie that in with
Blade.
a Ghost of Tsushima 2 announcement,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
probably.
but with them bringing more of their games to PC and probably eventually most of them, obviously Xbox has all their games on PC because they're people who got mad about Xbox doing. I'm like, dude, it's Microsoft. They're a PC company. Are you
Yeah.
insane? Of course they're going to bring
Yeah.
everything to PC.
I would
But
like it
it's
if
kind of
Sony
funny
does that.
with how easy it is to emulate Switch games. PC gamers have everything.
Yeah,
Like if you
I was
literally don't
telling one
wanna-
of my friends.
oh, I can't
yeah.
afford 3 platforms. Just get a PC.
Yep.
It's
I was
all
telling
there.
one of my friends
For-
we
for
were
a-
talking
a
about our
moment, it's all
backlog
there.
and stuff.
Till Switch 2
we-
comes out, and then it'll be
yeah.
a bit before that can be emulated. But.
Yeah, one of my friends was saying, "Oh, my backlog is so massive," and I was like, "My backlog will probably never end because I have a PC. I can play whatever I want on it." Yeah, but speaking of PC, I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Are you opposed to Nintendo games coming to PC?
Yes.
Because if Tears of the Kingdom and Xenoblade 3 and like a lot of these big games come to PC, I'm getting it. I'm
Nope.
100% getting it on PC.
Well, a lot of
Because-
people get it on PC.
Yeah, because like Tears of the Kingdom is already like a marvel on the Switch, and everything Monolith Soft made is a marvel on Switch. But imagine that at like 120 FPS.
I
and,
mean, you
like,
don't have to.
with-
Imagine at 30 FPS.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
People are already doing it. People are
Imagine-
already doing it. By the way, you don't have to.
Yeah,
Imagine.
yeah. But like, imagine it like done
Officially,
yeah,
Officially.
officially, yeah.
where you don't have
exactly.
to feel a little dirty.
Yeah, because
Well,
I
I
don't
think-
I
I
don't
think
like a
people
lot of
want-
the ray tracing Breath of the Wild mods and all that. I mean, they look fine, but it just takes away from the identity of the game in a way, you know?
Just wait for Switch 2. Just wait for Switch 2. You'll get all the ray tracing you want. All you need.
Yeah.
at least.
But I think Switch 2 will be good, but I don't think it's going to be PC level.
Of course
power.
not, but
Yeah.
at least it'll give you a taste
Yeah.
of that ray tracing. Like those ray tracing sandwich. Pretend it's a
Oh,
sandwich.
yeah.
I mean,
You
look,
I just
there-
think it'll be
there's-
cool to have that option.
I think there's the
eventually down the
reality
road.
of what you might want to happen versus
Mhm.
what Nintendo's going to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Nintendo's going to bring the games to PC in a realistic format because they keep reiterating, and they just did it in the last financial briefing, that the exclusives sell the system and the exclusives are best tied to the system.
Yeah.
And I will note that while everyone else is talking about how, they need to make more money and bring games more places, Nintendo's just sitting there like, we're the richest we've ever been in our lives doing what we do. We're the only company that can literally solo support an entire platform without anybody else being there right now. Because now that we have everything combined, we technically don't need third parties. We're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But we'd
Exactly.
like you to be here because we'd like a cut of that 30%. But hey, we actually have it. I mean, think about this. We're talking about how dry this year is for Nintendo, and yet they have 5 games.
Yeah.
That's like more than any other company's putting out this year.
That's crazy, man.
They have 5
That's good.
games, and we're talking about this is a dry year. It's a bad
Mhm.
year.
Remake,
But only one of them
remake,
brand new. Okay, let's
new
go back a couple
game,
years. Yeah, but then let's go back 2 years. Oh, Xbox didn't even have one new game in a year. So it's
Yeah.
like that's actually an accomplishment for some companies to get just one new game
Yeah.
out, and they have one new
Even
game plus
2020
some remakes and
yeah.
remasters.
2020
know
was
that's not all
supposedly
they
a
have
bad
coming,
year, but
so-
it was still pretty good. It was a pretty
Yeah.
successful year. It was
Like
a very
Ninten-
successful year for Nintendo.
Yeah,
So-
and but a
pandemic
bad
and-
game for Nintendo was like selling 2 million, 3 million. Yeah,
Horizons,
that's
yeah.
bad. That's bad. You know,
So Nintendo, well, for starters, as somebody who plays on everything, I absolutely would love to have Nintendo games on PC. Like as just
Yeah.
a pure want. People are already doing it anyways. Why not make it just official with official versions that have better development and all that? That'd be great. I also think though that for Nintendo, because of how they do their platform, they view it as it would take away because the time they're spending developing and putting the games on PC could be spent towards actually making
Yeah.
new games on Switch.
Yeah.
And
That's a
so
good
it's not that Nintendo couldn't do it. It's just they are so they've tied their IP so much to their hardware And Nintendo is actually one of the only companies, actually they are the only one that sells their hardware for a profit day one. So they actually
Yeah.
make money off their hardware, and they control the entire ecosystem. Like, this is something people don't consider about. They control the entire ecosystem on Switch, and they will on Switch too. So while, yeah, they could sell a $70 Tears of the Kingdom on PC, Steam's taking 30%.
Yeah.
And no one's taking 30% of Tears of the Kingdom on Switch. So
Yeah.
like, it's technically, even though they'd sell more copies, they'd be making less profit per copy sold. And on top of that, possibly devaluing their own system, giving people less reasons to buy their system. So
I think
it's
they
like
would do a Ubisoft thing where they make their own
Yeah.
digital storefront on PC, which that would also
Yeah, I
be
do
a
not
whole
trust
other can
Nintendo
of
to do that.
worms.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
not work.
No,
It
they
wouldn't
can't even
work
make a
right.
working eShop.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it. We
Yeah.
don't need them trying to make
A
their own
native
digital storefront.
PC digital
Listen,
storefront by Nintendo. Oh,
Nintendo
boy.
does not need to
DRM
bring,
galore. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Nintendo will never ever need to bring their games to any other
Yeah.
console or even PC. Nintendo, believe it or not, Nintendo is so set and so above everyone else when it comes to their first party games and how much they sell. Like, easily selling 1 million in a week, 2 million, 3 million. That they're not even focused on that. They know they're gonna sell. Mario's always gonna sell. Zelda's always gonna sell. Pokemon, a bad Pokemon game, is still gonna outsell any God of War, which is the best game, even though it's crappy here, glitches, still sells over 30 million, whatever like that. It's just a joke sometimes, right? They're so over that they're not even focusing on how many they're gonna sell. They're literally making their IPs even more lucrative now by expanding to other areas, movies, theme parks. It's just like they're just Nintendo's is really sort of solidifying themselves as the brand. Nintendo, Super Nintendo World. It's not Super Mario World or Super whatever. Donkey Kong opening, I think, is this week in Japan. Next week we're getting next year Donkey Kong here and Super Nintendo World here, and then the
Zelda's
movie,
in the works already.
Super Mario movie,
Yeah.
the best animated movie #1. You know what I mean? So it's like
Legos. We got-
Zelda movie coming soon.
the Zelda live action movie. So at this point, yeah, the for us fans, we have 150 million. Nintendo doesn't need to go anywhere else. They have
Yeah.
people need to come to Nintendo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm pretty
Like
sure
Xbox.
that
That's the way they view it. That's the way.
Yeah.
They view
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
and we know that they don't care either because Xbox tried to buy them or whatever
yeah,
way back when.
Yeah, you mean they made the suggestion and the execs
Yeah.
laughed at Phil Spencer? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. I love that. I love that came out from the court documents. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's what we expected.
Yeah.
Hey, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just brought that up as a hypothetical thing.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, as someone who does play on PC often, it would be cool to natively have them on there, but I don't see it happening because like Nintendo is Nintendo.
I mean, I
Yeah,
do
with
think
Switch
people
2,
want it.
Huh?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
people want it
consumers
because
want
like,
it,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
Power World sold astronomically well on
Exactly.
Steam. And
Yeah.
that's just a higher quality Pokemon. So
Yeah.
people want
And then
it.
of course, Pokemon wasn't Pokemon like a higher quality monster? What's that game? Monster Hunter or whatever? Or is it
Dragon Quest. You're talking about
Dragon Quest. Yeah, Dragon Quest. So I mean, everybody copies everybody, so that's how it is.
Until we get Apple Vision 8 and everyone moves to a Ready Player One future, we're gonna have Nintendo's gonna make their own.
I still haven't seen that
console.
movie.
Yeah.
Have you read the
People
book?
have-
That was a fun movie.
No, I haven't read
There's
the
The
book.
book is better
There's
than
2
the movie.
books. There's 2 books.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
watched the
the second
movie. I'm
one's
like,
even-
oh, this is pretty good. Then I read
Ready
the book.
Player
and
One.
that
Yeah, you
movie
have
was
to watch that
trash.
game. The game is that game. That movie's insane. I think they're working on Ready Player 2, right?
I think so.
That book is wild. Like the second book is much.
So I'm gonna watch the movie, and then I'll
Yeah.
watch the second movie, and then I'll read the books, and I'll realize how bad the movies are, and then I'll be like,
Yeah.
do I regret doing this now because I enjoyed the movies?
Well, the books, like they could use a lot more references than they were able to get for the
At the
movie.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, not at the time, just in general. Like even
In
with
general.
Spielberg directing the movie, like, and he was able to pull in some of his references from movies and stuff that he
Mhm.
probably could pull some strings. The challenges were different and stuff in the books, and they had to speed stuff up because it's a decently long book. Not,
Sure.
but like to try to condense down to an hour and a half long movie.
Fun
2 hour
fact: I
movie.
auditioned
It
for
should
that
have just
movie.
did what some franchises
did?
do.
Oh, you
just do
did?
multiple
Ready Player One?
parts. You know?
Yeah, they just like handed out sides, and they were just like, "Yeah, we want to cast a nobody for this role," because usually that's kind of what Steven Spielberg does. It's like he just gets somebody and makes
Yeah.
them someone. So I don't know. I just did an audition tape for it, and then he decides to cast the actor from X-Men. Just a nobody.
Yeah, he's a nobody. There you go. There you
He's
go.
a total
I didn't know
nobody.
who he was.
Sorry,
Nobody,
you didn't
right?
get the part, man.
Yeah, we got
Sorry,
nobody.
they
Yeah, we got
wanted
nobody.
something that would sell tickets. My bad.
Yeah. They're lost.
They're lost. They're lost.
Yeah.
Well, since you guys seem to see a little bit of film buffy over there, what you guys have any hope for the Zelda movie?
I'm
Anya
nervous.
Taylor-Joy has to play it. She's gorgeous.
Well, okay, we're not getting into like who the
She can't
actors are
be.
gonna
She can't be
yet,
both
but
Peach and Zelda.
Yeah.
That would be
not?
insane. That would be weird. That would just be
What
weird.
happens when the crossover eventually happens?
That's true.
And their
Well,
voices
live action
exactly
Mario
the same.
movie.
Why do we
you never
sound
know.
the same?
Why do we sound
Um,
exactly the same?
I will
To be
say,
honest, I didn't know who she was. I saw her today for the very first time, like her face.
Have you seen Queen's Gambit?
No.
It's good.
Yeah, Queen
she
Gambit.
was in,
Zelda's
uh,
very
she was in she was in Split and Glass as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw her
Yeah.
today for the very first time.
That's
Like,
when I first saw her. I saw her in Split. for the
crap,
first
that's
time.
Zelda. I'm like, Anya Taylor-Joy. Wait, that's
She
Zelda.
would like. She does kind of look like a Zelda.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I guess
Uh,
for me, like Wes Ball, he made the tweet that he's like wanted to make this movie ever since he was young. And if there was
Mhm.
like any property that he could do, it was a Zelda movie that looked kind of like Avatar or
Yeah.
with those kind of special effects.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Let him do his thing.
He's got the passion.
I don't know, like Nintendo, I think they did a great job with Illumination in that partnership, and obviously Nintendo had more of a say. And I think it will be the same way with Sony Pictures. But Avi Arad he's very controlling is not the right word. He knows what
He's
he wants.
stubborn. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, because
But
do you
so is
Cheesy? Do you remember like I had to kind of refresh my memory on this. Do you remember his like conflict with Kevin Feige for Amazing Spider-Man?
oh yeah.
Like, yeah, Kevin Feige was like, let's make it comic book accurate. Let's make like these things that are like actually part of Peter Parker's character. And he's like, no, let's make him cool. Let's make him a skater boy. And I'm like,
yeah.
don't do that with Link. Like
So-
that. I was so
Skater Boy
afraid when I
Link. Oh,
heard
I'm all
Avi
in.
Arad live action. I was like, no, because
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's-
Yeah,
He's stubborn, but
Yeah.
so is Miyamoto. And that's where
Oh,
I
yes.
feel like they could be, clashing heads.
Yeah.
Isn't this the same studio that made Madam Web?
It is, yes.
Oh,
Madam
yes.
Web, Venom,
Morbius.
and
Madam does not have
Morbius.
Miyamoto is gonna be there hovering over this guy like
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
make
Do it.
this like
What are you doing?
Morbius.
I mean, we've joked that Taylor Swift is going to be Zelda.
oh no. Please no.
Taylor
Oh,
Swift,
boy.
Tom
I mean, if
Holland.
you wanna,
If you want to sell
see,
tickets,
yeah.
Oh my god. For
Butts
real.
and seats.
Seriously. A bunch of
Yeah.
Swifties.
international
Sure.
too, you will get everyone.
She's a
Travis
good singer.
Kelce's
I'm
son.
not sure if she's a great actress.
It's,
We're gonna-
it's rumored.
we're gonna-
Isn't it rumored she's going to be an X-Men? And
She's gonna be in
Deadpool,
Deadpool.
yeah.
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 Wolverine?
That's the
Really?
rumor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Superstar or
that
something,
fits well,
or
but Tears of
Starlight
the
or
Kingdom-
I mean, here's the thing: can she act? That's really all that
That's
matters.
important,
Like,
yeah,
can
exactly.
she actually act? Like, if she can act, then I'm not like opposed. It's just, can she? I don't think she'll end up playing like a Zelda because she's in her 30s. I think they might go with someone a bit younger that can maybe play the role for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah,
What's the
Um,
likelihood of
Millie
Tom
Bobby
Holland?
Brown is a good actress too.
100% Tom Holland. It's happening.
Tom Holland will at least be considered. I don't think it's going to be him though.
I don't think it's gonna be him because of his age. By the time they start filming, he'll be like 30 something.
I think
But
Tom
he
Holland
he
will
looks like
refuse,
he's
like
20.
yeah. He
he looks like it's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Holland doesn't. I don't think he wants to do these kinds of roles anymore though, because he's like, after Spider-Man, I had that run, I had that attention. I kind of want to move back from that now. I think he was saying
Sci-fi.
things like
But
that.
the guy's a really good actor though. Have you
Yeah,
seen his
he's great.
other movies? Crazy actor.
Yeah, he's really good.
The other
He's got
actor is
range.
the guy from Willy Wonka, the kid. And from
Timothy
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah,
He's in
yeah.
too many things right now, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's
Zendaya
blowing
and
up.
Zelda then. Like we
Yeah, he's
got
blowing up.
Ah,
so
yes.
the crossover
Yes.
with Dune.
The Dune crossover. Yes, I will say this though.
They already got a popcorn bucket. Then we got the.
Oh no.
The like popcorn bucket. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah. I'm actually nervous for the Zelda movie being live action. When I heard that it was like when they announced the Zelda movie, I was happy. When I read that it was live action, I was nervous. When I read Avi Arad's name, I was scared. So like I'm excited. Zelda is my number one favorite franchise of all time, but
Yeah.
I'm going to be seeing this through like a giant magnifying glass, dissecting everything. If they like, I just
Don't
hope they don't
expect
screw this up.
don't expect pure lore. Remember, they're trying to
No,
cater,
yeah,
they're trying to cater to the main market now
yeah.
and try to bring
I
in
just
new
want it to
people.
feel and be Zelda. Like it
It
doesn't
will.
have
I
to
think it
have
will.
like timeline stuff and like lore stuff. I just
Yeah.
want it to retain that Zelda identity,
In the
and
land
I hope they can
of
with live
Ray
action.
of Hyrule.
Yeah.
As long as they
Man,
don't use Skyward Sword as a
truly.
reference.
No,
They're gonna do that
just one Loftwing flight. Just
One
one.
See,
one thing
I'm
in the
gonna
sky for
allow
Loftwing.
John to keep making me mad about Skyward Sword because he's gonna take blame for everything on my channel
It was-
moving forward.
It was a callback. It was a callback. You know, I opened with that joke, and now,
Yeah.
we're later on. I
Skyward
should write the
Sword.
script.
Skyward Sword. This game is a. Hey, I'm learning. It's the first game. It's supposedly the first game in the line of the Zelda games, right? I'm learning.
Which
see?
which
I
they
think,
had to
easily
establish
skip
after the encyclopedia came out, like, or when the encyclopedia was going to come out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what they made, they weren't even thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, let's just
They weren't.
put an order there for people, make people happy.
I hope the movie is an original story though, with like references, slight
So basically,
references.
it's just like
to
a new
other things.
game, like going into like if it were a brand new game, but a brand new movie with a new story, new plot, right? Same guy, looking different. Jason Momoa, you know, in there, kind of like
I'm more of a Idris
I can see
Elba.
Idris
supporter
Elba.
for the-
Okay.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
more like a gravitas voice, like you know.
Yeah, Jason Momoa is like too much hype and like
He's-
He's too
Yeah,
silly
yeah.
too. Like I feel
But
like he's too.
he has serious moments though. So he has a combination just in case they want to give some humor in certain areas. He can act that well, you know.
I think Jason Momoa as Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones is the kind of vibe I would want
Yeah.
if he plays Ganondorf.
He would play like Daruk
He would be a great Daruk or a Darunia,
or
Yes,
like
he would
Dave
be
Bautista.
Goron. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope
Mm.
that's something that we see in the movie is like the Rito clan and like the
The Zoros.
oh yeah, Zoro, yeah.
All the
Big
other
fan.
races.
Big fan.
Come on, man. I wanted to say the Mifa clan, but that's not right. But I would like to see Mifa.
Prince Sidon. Yeah. Who's Prince Sidon gonna be? You know,
Oh,
Channing Tatum.
like Jude Law.
Jude Law.
You guys are ballooning this budget quite a bit.
Jude
Um,
Law
I,
could be a
um,
good Ganondorf.
I'll have to
Aviv
find it
was in
somewhere,
charge
but I
of
found,
the first Avengers, right? Of Avengers, like the first saga, Infinity Stone. He was the head of Marvel then.
who? Kevin Feige?
No, the Rita Rod, the guy, the
Oh,
main guy.
Avi Arad, yeah.
He was the head of Marvel when the Infinity Saga was taking place, right?
No, he was there before the MCU even began. So he
Okay.
was responsible for the Tobey
I-
Maguire films, the Andrew Garfield
Man.
films, the X-Men films. The early X-Men films were all him. Like
Yeah.
before, I think even like Days of Future Past and stuff, that was him.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they could do like sagas, right, within Zelda.
Yeah.
That way they can kind of, different timelines, but in sagas. Like for example, the first 3 movies is the Triforce saga, right?
Yeah.
Move over to the next 3 movies. It's a
The
different timeline.
Secret Stone Saga.
Yeah, the different timeline, but same actors. They have to keep continuity, but it's a still different link.
They're gonna get
different
really old.
Oh
We're
boy.
six movies in. They're gonna get real old.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, you're right.
It'd be
you're
like
right.
Harry Potter.
They're gonna
Don't go
AI
into role.
de-age.
Yeah,
AI de-age.
Hey,
That's a lot.
with the new thing we saw today, the whole Sora thing. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, what? There was a
Did
Zora
you
thing?
guys see that on Twitter? The new OpenAI thing.
Oh, I did see
Ah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty insane. Yeah.
I gotta take a look at it.
You know what's also insane?
but-
Dragging it by its feet back to Xbox.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Phil Spencer. Apparently also did an interview today.
Ah,
So that or they probably did it a couple days ago, and it just published today. And in the interview with Stefan Totillo, he went over his expectation of PlayStation and Nintendo games ever coming to Xbox, and basically said, of course he wants it to happen. However, for those that think there's some bartering going on and that he's like, hey, we'll give you this if down the line you give us that. He's like, his exact quote is, that is not for me. This is not some kind of bartering system. We're just doing it for the better of the Xbox business. We don't expect anyone to give us anything back. So just to kind of squash people that think, oh, maybe this is like a long play to get some stuff to their system. They literally don't expect Nintendo to give them jack shit.
Yeah.
They're just doing it because they want to make money. Basically.
MLB
You
is
think
the
they'll
one
ever
that
like
made
partner with each other?
PlayStation.
Yeah, MLB forced
Yeah.
PlayStation. They're like, you either do this or we're yanking the license. And they're like, oh, okay.
I think
well,
Xbox and Nintendo would partner together and do like a banjo game.
Oh, I would love that.
Mm.
But
to happen.
what's the
Yeah.
status of
you
Toys
guys
for Bob?
admit, Phil Spencer
Because-
sort of hinted there
yeah.
might be a banjo actually in the works.
A new one,
'Cause
yes.
some
brand
people
new.
were saying Toys for
Hey,
Bob.
that doesn't
is
come to
closed down,
Nintendo.
and some
That needs
people
to be one of
said
those
no.
games that multi-platform. Come on,
Yeah.
you need
Make
to
it
bring that to
exclusive.
Nintendo.
Make it exclusive to Xbox. That's exclusive. The
Yeah, that's probably what it will be at launch. It'll probably
Game
be
By the
Pass
way,
exclusive.
like we were talking last week on our show, like Rare Replay needs to be on Switch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's like,
Like-
one of the perfect ones, and that's not
Yeah.
one of the 4 games, obviously. But it's like, dude,
Yeah.
Rare Replay. 90% of that stuff was literally on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Come on, you're just leaving money on the table.
Mhm.
Literally.
Was
And-
Conker
And,
on
that's
that?
a whole suite of just a la
Conker's
carte
on that,
stuff
yeah.
that they
Yeah.
could sell as well.
Oh,
I
hey,
really
we're
wanna
gonna
play
let some of
Conker
these
on
games
Switch.
go to your Nintendo Switch Online. Just
Yep.
give us the damn collection,
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
And they're the
I would
better
love to play
versions. They're the
Conker.
360 versions.
Oh,
And you can
yeah.
even partner with Nintendo and be like, okay, since it's coming to Nintendo, we could put even in like the Donkey Kong Country games in and stuff with it too, because that was made by them.
Mhm.
Like they can make it even like the definitive version of it. Man, be sick. And with Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves coming over, you'll just have everything from Rare.
Yeah.
Should
Maybe
say
they'll
that.
just
They made
put
some,
that
they
one
made some
on
Connect
Nintendo.
games. They made some Connect games and they can keep them. I'm good with that.
Eric, what's your shirt? Your sweater say? Is it UW something? Is it wrestling?
No, it's just University of Wisconsin lacrosse. So you do UWL.
Cool.
That's
cool.
where I went to
You-
school.
Oh, awesome.
The Eagles.
Mhm.
No, he's a wrestler. You just beat him up out there.
Big giant football on it. You know.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
It's fumble drill,
Yeah.
but they turned it into wrestling.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna switch on over to the Q&A section. Remember, guys, if you want to submit any questions for the Q&A, I think I put one out there to get us started. All you do is as little as $2, ask a question to everyone, and we just go until there's nothing left to talk about. So I put a question out there saying, what is the most important game from your guys' childhood? Should say and why.
Oh, this is an interesting one.
Yes, I
That's
thought this
easy
would be
for
a
me.
great one. We have so many new people here. I'm like, dude, we've had this come up before,
Mhm.
but this was a while ago. We have so many new people. This is a great conversation to bring back.
Yeah.
So I asked
So-
the question, so I'm not going to answer it.
I'm
So we
wearing
have
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a debate on communication error, and we try to find out who's right and who's wrong about if Super Mario Bros. 3 is better than Super Mario World. So I need to know your answers so I know if I like you or not.
Wait. Is this gonna go on our sheet, Johnny?
Yeah, this
Like,
is
are
going
we
on the
gonna-
sheet. So that one counts.
I'm already on the sheet.
Mike's counts.
Oh, no.
I go world. World is mine.
That one doesn't count.
No, it counts.
no, that one gets left off the sheet. You know.
Well, I also go
Is World another Skyward
Yes.
Sword?
No,
Yeah,
I
Johnny,
love they're
Johnny's
both.
just wrong.
it's-
Okay,
you're-
if you
you're-
haven't
you're-
learned by now.
you're-
They're
Comparing
one
two
and two,
perfect
but you
games.
just gotta you have
Yeah.
one above the other usually.
Yeah, dude, I love both, but World.
Yeah. Without 3, there will be no world. 3 was the,
Without
Well, I'm
Donkey
saying 3 was
Kong,
the
there'd be
platform.
no Mario. What are we talking about?
I'm saying 3 was the like the blueprint for world. You know,
Without
like-
Jumpman, what are we doing here?
I don't know, right? Without Jumpman, there will be no Mario. Without
So I was saying we
Jumpman,
can keep this rabbit hole going.
But Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
3 is my answer to this question. It I
Why
played
is
it
it
so
so
much.
special?
I actually played it on Mario All Stars, like on Super
Oh,
Nintendo.
sure. Yeah.
And I didn't play the NES version until the Wii Virtual Console, and
Yeah.
I thought I got a bad copy
because it's like a
the
graphical
graphics.
downgrade. Yeah. Yeah.
Use the graphics. But no, it just the power ups are fantastic in that game. The worlds are fantastic, and it's just fun. I play it at least once a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go there. I'm gonna go and say Super Mario Brothers 1 from my childhood, just because. Yeah, that game. First, it means a lot to me because I played with my dad. You know, he got me my first NES. But before that, I used to go over to my cousin's house, Eric, and that he got his NES. And I was like, can I play? You know, it was like, you know, he was like a big brother to me, my older cousin. And so I love sneaking it in to his room just to play Mario Brothers, and then go. You know, I'm that old, guys. By the way, I'm that old. And then going across the street to the cross the pizzeria and playing Super Mario Brothers Versus on the actual arcade when they first came out. It was just like the best times. You know, I used to cross the street all by myself, steal my parents' quarters, and then just go play games on. You know, so I would say, most important for my childhood is Super Mario Brothers. That's the game that got me into covering Nintendo. So
Nice. I guess for me, mine is kind of bittersweet, I will say. Mine is Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, because those were I'm a really big Nintendo fan, but my first console was a PS2. But I wasn't hooked on gaming when I had the PS2. My hook for video games was when I got a DS and Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. I played those games so much, but looking back at it, I was telling my friend this recently, it took me about 3 years to complete one of those games, because it was my first ever video game that I rolled credits on, and I completed, and I actually trained my Pokemon. I beat the rival at the end. I was like, wow, I can't believe I made it this far. I can't believe I'm rolling credits on a video game. Like, that was mind-blowing to me. And then I played Sapphire, Diamond, all those games. So Pokemon was a very big part of my childhood. And now I'm just really kind of sad at the state it's in now, because I just don't, one, I don't enjoy the games. Two, I always had visions for how my favorite games would look like in the future when I was a kid. Like, Zelda with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom surpassed everything that I could have imagined as a kid. Pokemon hasn't reached that level yet. And I'm not like sad, I'm more like upset and disappointed, because I'm like, when I saw Diamond and Pearl remakes, I was very kind of confused. I was like, why are they going in this direction? I at least wanted them to look kind of like Sword and Shield. So if Pokemon Day comes, if they remake Black and White, which are my favorite Pokemon games, Black and White is my favorite Pokemon games. If they screw those up, then that's an unforgivable thing for me. Like, no, they can't do that. They can't screw Black and White up. But yeah, Pokemon is a very important part of my childhood, but it's just not in the place that I want it to be.
Game Freak needs some help.
They need help. Yeah, I guess another game from my childhood though is Ocarina of Time, but like that's when I was a little older, when I was like approaching my preteens, but. That I always say that's the game that just fundamentally changed my life in so many ways. Not only how I look at video games, but just media in general. Nothing was the same after playing that. But yeah.
Nice. Eric, what's yours, bud?
Yeah. Well, my actual answer is Super Mario 64, but I am going to throw a tangent here a little bit and go with Snowboard Kids, because I really want to will this back into it, that we get another one or we bring them back, because I just really want it again. So
who owns that?
Gosh, who was it?
I don't remember.
At least get it on Switch Online, right?
Jesus,
right,
kids.
Yeah. Why is it so important to you, that particular friend? You've talked about Super Mario 64 a lot.
Yeah,
and we always talk about like, oh, you want Snowboard Kids to come back, but like, why is it important to you?
It was published by Atlas and Nintendo. So
okay. Really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know Atlas did that. Wow.
I don't know. It's a fun game that my sister and I just enjoyed playing, and just dropping frying pans on each other, you know, things like that. It was just great. I had so much fun playing it as a kid, and I just want it back. I either want a new one or give me the other ones.
I agree. There were so many goofy games back then, right? Have you guys ever heard of Caveman games? For NES, Caveman games.
Mm-mm.
There's a one of the games. It's like Olympic based, right? One of the games is basically see how far you can throw the wife or the girl over.
Oh, jeez.
What
Yeah,
the?
caveman, ugly limpet.
Oh, jeez.
This is hilarious. There was one where you make
Oh,
it fire
goodness.
and then you kind of hit the other person over the head, so they
This
don't.
does look like cool.
Yeah, caveman
This does
games.
look
Look it up. It's just hilarious, man. Back in the
Should
day,
remaster those
right? Kung Fu. The other
for
one's
modern
also-
audience.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, that's an EA game.
Wait, EA made a good game at one point.
What caveman games is EA?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So the more you know. Cheesy,
I'm
what's
surprised
yours?
that Snowboard Kids was an
When
Atlas.
Nish Quick
thing.
decides to stop,
Yeah.
he's so shocked about Atlas, he can't get over.
Yeah,
it.
that's interesting. That's an interesting. bit
Yeah,
for
Atlas
the,
used to make other games, back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
guess I have two. One is Pokemon Snap, because I was a huge Pokemon fan. I would collect the cards. I would watch the show. I would go to Burger King and get the plastic Pokeballs. And I would pretend like going in my backyard and, catching a Pokemon, just like living that life. And so when we got Pokemon Snap and we actually got to see how Pokemon act in the wild, and you just got to take pictures of them,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I love the replay value of it too, because it is a great puzzle game. There's so many things that you can do later on when you get like certain items or the Pokeflute, like you get to go back and discover new Pokemon again, even though you've already done that level. So I really love that. And then the backyard sports games, I had all of them and I love them so much. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Jason Kelsey's trying to bring him back.
No way, really?
I think so.
That's a
I think
thing?
he's
Wow.
trying to buy it and bring it back.
That would be pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, I guess those are my answers.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did a sequel to Pokemon Snap, because that's something
me too.
like everyone really, really wanted, and
It's really good.
it
too.
didn't seem like it was gonna happen because they had the perfect opportunity on Wii U and they didn't do it. So I was like,
And
oh, it's
again,
never gonna
like,
happen.
The replay value on that, like
Yeah.
after you like got so many points, you could go down different paths of the level that just opened up
Yeah.
into a bigger like world. Yeah, I really loved it. Bandai Namco, they nailed it, and it's sad that they aren't working on a Pokemon game, because I
Because that's the
feel
best
like
you'll ever see him look.
It's
Yeah.
probably the
Yeah.
best looking Pokemon game as well.
yeah,
All right,
That
what-
and
what do I call it?
They did
Pokemon.
an amazing job.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
not
call it
that I
next
expected
Pokemon
them to.
Snap is gonna be VR and Switch 2.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
we're
with
both-
cardboard on our
yeah.
face?
That would
Yeah, cardboard.
legitimately be the perfect game for VR.
yeah.
You're sitting
Uh,
down in the car, just looking around, and just kind of taking pictures.
Yeah. So Nightcrawler, otherwise known as the Worm, what's yours?
I'm like I said, I'm wearing it. Super Mario World. I had played Mario 1, 2, and 3. I didn't own an NES, but Super Nintendo was my first console that I owned, and that's just like where it all like really took off. So it's just getting to explore around, and that was it was magical.
Nice. So
I remember when it came out.
Yeah.
We're like the graphics, man. You see how it looks? The graphics. Look at the background moving at the it's like, you know how they started moving the background, because everything was just like all linear. But when Super Nintendo came out, we saw Mario, and then the background just stayed behind. Like, wait a minute, how are they doing that? Crazy how we were just so impressed back in the day.
Oh yeah. Rory wanted to let us know it was Yahtzee for him. And for some reason, $7.91, a very specific number he typed
That's
in.
probably what he spent on
Yahtzee.
the Yahtzee card.
That's probably what he spent on Yahtzee back in the day. I don't know what the reference is to there. Thank you so much
Okay.
for that, man.
That's a fun game.
This is an interesting question. I haven't thought about this for a long time. I actually had to look it up just to refresh my memory. Jorge FT said, do you think Nintendo will loosen, I think he meant to say, their want for control in the future, or did the universal Donkey Kong case forever scar them or scare them?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't remember, there was a case back in the 80s
Yeah.
about King Kong and Donkey Kong because the designs, and being too similar and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And didn't go
Lawyer
well.
Kirby. to save the
Yeah.
day.
It was
Yeah.
meant to be. It was meant to be. That's all I can say. It was Kirby would have been called Popo something. Popo, yeah, it was a crazy name. Popo Skinny Dipper
Tinkle
Noodle-
Popo something.
Yeah,
Sprinkle
Popo something.
Popo.
So Kirby was like the blessing in disguise. And to answer the question, Universal Studios right now has Super Nintendo World. They're building Donkey Kong World, Donkey Kong Land right now. I think that at the beginning it was a lesson learned for them. I don't think they've ever taken any name similar to anything else and done it again. But it's under the rug right now because right now Nintendo and Universal have a really good relationship.
Yeah, I look at it as like want to loosen their want for control in the future. What company wants to loosen their control of the things they create?
Yeah.
Look at all the laws that Disney's had changed over the years to try to maintain control of their characters, and even sometimes fairy tale characters that were never theirs originally. Like every company wants to maintain control of their creation. So I don't think like that case scared them. I mean, maybe at the time, obviously this is very early video game Nintendo. Like, if they would have lost, who knows what would have happened to the future of the company, but they didn't. Lots of appeals and lots of things that went into it, but they didn't win everything on it. Like Nintendo wanted damages or something, and they didn't win damages. But it's very interesting because look, Nintendo is maybe one of, and a lot of this I think comes from like, hey, Nintendo putting games on PC, they're not going to do it, or Nintendo going to let just everyone use their IP. And sure, there's going to be a day when the IP is so old at one point that eventually laws can't protect it and it will become public domain. Like that, we just saw that happen with Disney actually, with Oswald, right? Like
and Steamboat Willie and
Steamboat Willie, yeah, that became
Winnie the Pooh.
And Winnie the Pooh. So
well,
like,
they never owned Winnie the Pooh, but
technically,
But yeah, that's another public domain thing.
Yeah.
The
So
horror
like,
movie stuff.
like Mario and Donkey Kong, they're eventually going to be in the public domain. It's just going to happen someday.
Can't wait for that horror movie.
It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of delays and maybe more laws change to try to keep it for as long as they can, but it's going to happen. And it's interesting just because, look, every company values the things they create. If they don't, then there's no point to make them in the first place. Yeah, there's plenty of companies that will sell their stuff out and just close down shop and take the money and run. Nintendo's not going anywhere. So I don't think they're scared of losing control for sure. Like that is all companies are. Like, why do you think Disney had laws literally changed to try to maintain control as long as they could? There's stories about how like certain versions of Mickey, they were able to maintain control because they started making a little skit that goes at the beginning of every single film just to maintain control. It's just very
why the Steamboat Willie thing was in front of a lot of Disney stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
It was because they got a law passed that allowed them, as long as it was still in active use, you got an extra amount of years. So Nintendo's obviously actively using a lot of their old stuff, so it's going to be they're going to have that maximum on it unless the maximum gets extended at some point. And obviously another thing to consider is that they're also Japanese companies, so like a lot of it's going to come under Japanese law, and how their laws work rather than the US. So like you might go, oh, in the United States, I'm like, yeah, but they're not a US company. So like it doesn't just become public domain because we hit like 100 years in the US. That's not how it works because it's not actually a US thing to decide. But Japan has their own laws around it as well, and they have limits too. So I find it, and maybe one thing I will say about Nintendo, there is a possibility that they maybe never lose control because I think they have a lot of sway with the government. They are literally like the most valuable company in terms of cash flow in Japan, and like they have investments from major banks. And I mean, look, they were advertising the Olympics for Japan. It was Mario. Like, there's a lot of respect and honor there. So it is possible that even though the laws are what they are, the Japanese government might just start making exceptions for companies like Nintendo to be like, well, Mario's Nintendo. We can't just let Mario be anybody. But again, this is going to be happening long after we're gone when this stuff comes around. But I don't think there's every company's scared to lose control. But they're not going to loosen things up. Why? I mean, they'll work with more companies. They're working with Universal on movies, sure, but Nintendo's maintaining all the rights. They're not giving up rights when they do that. They're working with Sony. Lego. They're working with Lego, but Nintendo's maintaining all the rights. They have a lot of control there. Look, they're working with Sony for a Zelda movie. You think they're giving up any control of Zelda to Sony? No, nothing's happening unless Nintendo says it's happening. So while it's nice to see Nintendo branching out, a lot of it is just to the mutual benefit of their business and other companies.
Yeah.
But they're not ever going to be like, it's not going to be like a Marvel situation where it passes hands and is sold to other people. Like, no, Nintendo's the Zelda movie, Sony, they ain't owning rights to it. Nintendo's going to own that. And if they want to continue it, they could choose a different studio and a different company to go with in the future. It will be interesting with some of the publishing rights because on the original movie, because I think part of the Zelda agreement was that Sony was going to help get it in more theaters and handle some of the publishing. But we'll see how that plays out because that hasn't happened yet. So there might be an opportunity where maybe Nintendo can keep it going, but they can't like republish the original film without Sony's permission. But that's all down the lines, behind the scenes BS, and I'm sure Nintendo can just buy the rights back if they needed to. But
It's
they're still
similar,
going to control the characters in the IP.
yeah, it's similar to what happened with Super Mario Brothers, the movie, like where because Illumination, which is Universal, they were the ones who produced it. They had a 1 year exclusivity with Peacock, and then after that, it moved to Netflix. So same thing with Sony. They will have a whatever.
There'll be something.
Yeah, whatever belongs to Sony. I don't know what does Sony have own when it comes to streaming services.
I don't even know.
Is it Max?
No, that's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, right?
I don't think so.
I think Sony just goes to Netflix usually is who they deal with.
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, they also have partnership with Disney now with some of the Marvel stuff. So
what Sony does own is they own Crunchyroll, I think, right?
Ooh, Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I got to put it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's
I mean, but I'm just thinking about like streaming services. I think they do have.
Didn't they
but-
just like kill a bunch of stuff that people had purchased on Crunchyroll?
Yeah, there was a lot of things happening with that. I didn't really look too much.
Like, when it comes to like the publisher rights, I think a great example would be all those Netflix Marvel shows. Like Netflix owned the shows, but they didn't own the characters or anything.
Yeah.
So when Disney decided, hey, we own all this stuff, we're shutting you down. Like we don't want any more seasons of this. It's not going to be part of our canon. You can keep it up, but we're they actually had to do a money exchange with Netflix to buy the rights to republish that stuff on their service, and now they're bringing that all back as canon in the universe. And that's probably similar here. Like Nintendo's not going to give up the rights to the IPs or any of that stuff, and they can shut stuff down. But it's possible that like Sony might own a publishing right to it, and that is something that would be a negotiated in the future if there was ever any problems. Which, by the way, this is presuming there would ever even be any problems. If it's a multi-billion-dollar film, I don't really think there's going to be any problems.
Yeah,
I think they're both going to be very happy and willing to do a lot more movies together. So just like Illumination, there's going to be more coming. You don't have like the second highest grossing animated film of all time and be like, yeah, we're done. Bye. It was a nice partnership. So it's gonna be. I also wonder if like because Nintendo's doing this Zelda movie, that's why if you think about like all their theme park expansions, a lot of it is like other IPs that they might be doing with Illumination and Universal, and this they're doing with Sony. And I wonder if that's why like, hey, we're gonna wait to do the Zelda one. Although I know Aonuma was out there in Florida.
Yeah,
they were I know. I'm like, ooh, maybe there'll be one Zelda ride, not a whole
right in my
section.
backyard, right in my backyard.
I mean,
I saw the across the street. I'm like, "Hey, you?"
Talking about like all this stuff, like control for the future, like everything now is calculated. It's super calculated, planned way out. Back in the 80s when that happened, it was the Wild Wild West where they just took stuff that they wanted to and just begged for forgiveness pretty much.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of rules yet. Like they had some basic stuff, like some groundwork, but there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it was like film and TV and video games. These are all like mediums that hadn't been around for very long. And
because the only thing I can think of that's like recent about that is the Ubisoft devs that made Mario
Plus
vs. Rabbids, and Nintendo was wondering where they got the Mario models. And they're like, we made it ourselves, and they were surprised by it,
and they loved it.
Yeah,
and Nintendo's like, damn, this is good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
That's pretty cool.
All right, I think that is the end of the super chat questions. So I think we're going to be wrapping up the show here. So we're going to go around the room. Remind people who you are, where they can find you. We will have, I don't know if we have any mods here. If not, I will go
I
ahead
got
and
it.
grab. Oh, Eric's
I
on.
got
All right. Got links down in the description. We'll grab it and put it up when you guys are advertising what's going on. So let's just go. We started at the bottom last time. Let's go to the top. Mike, where can they find you? What do you got going on?
Hello. I am Mike Odyssey. You can find me at the Mike Odyssey channel on YouTube. You can also find me at Mike Odyssey YT. Some person owns Mike Odyssey on Twitter, and they're not even using it for like 10 years ago. But yeah, Mike Odyssey YT on Twitter and on Instagram, which I don't go to, but it's still there. And what I have going on, Monday to Friday, news content. I'm in the middle of a huge upgrade to the channel when it comes to visuals, content, and stuff. I'm also working with Nate behind the scenes on something I'm not going to mention. We'll talk behind the scenes. You'll read it later on. But Fridays we also have our podcast like in 8:30 p.m. In Topic Podcast, and that's about it. Monday to Friday news, Friday's podcast, and some cool stuff happening.
I was like crossing my fingers. This wasn't going to be a 20-minute ad because I think last time you were on, I was timing it, and I'm like, oh, we hit 18 minutes.
And then, like we have our mugs, never give up.
Oh,
Never
here we
give
go.
up,
Yeah,
journey
why not
on.
even?
Yeah.
Hey.
Why did I even?
You're right. I was like, hey, we got mugs.
Matthew
Well,
Bodquick just wanted to
and-
remind
and-
us that Aquatic Assault Work 6-3. This tune is awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Until
All
the
right.
AM. Until the AM.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, / Nintendo Prime 10. Anyways, just quick pops. What do you got going
Yes.
on? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Nish Quick Pops on YouTube, Nish Quick Pops on Twitter, and Instagram. I need to post more there. I just post new uploads on my stories on Instagram. I sometimes post on TikTok, but mostly YouTube and Twitter. And I have been talking a lot about Persona 3 Reload on the channel. I am playing that game. I'm really enjoying it. I'll be making more videos once I complete the game. I'm just trying to enjoy the game right now and finish it off. But yeah, if you guys are excited for Persona 3 Reload, are enjoying it, check out the videos I made about that game. And next week, I have a very exciting collaboration that I'm doing. I have like my own little like long form podcast I do called the EXP podcast. And everyone who's listening right now is getting a first little preview of this. Someone else who is a reoccurring member on the Nintendo Prime podcast will be on my channel for a very special Metroid video. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm very
Jeez,
excited. for that.
I wonder who that is.
I wonder who it is.
I
yeah.
wonder who it is.
Wow, that's
Whoa, what a
Yeah,
mystery to all of our viewers. Who could it be?
I wonder if he's not here right.
Yeah.
Man,
it's Eric. Yeah,
I
Eric,
wonder
the
if they're
biggest
not
Metroid
here
fan
right
ever.
now.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. That's coming out next week. And in the editing process right now is probably one of the biggest videos I will be making for the channel ever. And it is a whole kind of review and like look back at my experience with the original Final Fantasy VII, because I finally got to complete the game this December, but it was a long journey. So I'm making a whole like recap video of my ups and downs with that journey. So if you guys are excited for Rebirth, I'll be talking about that in that video as well. How like my journey with the original FF7 is leading into my hype for Rebirth as well. So definitely, definitely be excited for that. Yeah, that's me.
All right. Eric.
I'm here. That's it.
Usually Wednesdays, 8 p.m. I know
Usually.
Thursday. Yeah, we were kind of hoping for a direct. Didn't happen. It's cool. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. Regardless if there's a direct on Thursday, it's whatever. Podcast is Wednesday. We'll live with it. All right. Oh, you can also find him on Twitter, technically, at emo8790. He will see what you tweet if you tweet him. He just probably won't say anything.
No.
But he might, maybe he'll leave a heart. I don't know. If it's really kind, he might like it. We'll see. Cheesy.
Yeah.
Are you feeling breezy over there?
Oh man, it's not easy.
There we go.
Be cheesy. Yeah, anyway, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. We'll put those in there. CheezyC64, CheezyC64. I like to make
I don't know if I got any of that. Whoa.
CheezyC64.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good note. I probably should slow that down.
Now you like super fast. I'm like, look, I got the cheesy part. I don't know what else is going on.
Oh, C64.
There
Yeah.
you go. See?
Yeah.
It's in his tag, just so.
Yeah, he does have it. So I knew what you were saying, but I'm like, man, that was really fast.
But yeah, I like to make just Nintendo content, but I make a lot of Splatoon videos and Splatoon lore. Splatoon is like my series. I really love it. So if you're looking forward to Side Order, I'll be making a lot of content around that. And then I'm also on Nintendo Powercast and Communication Error podcast, and we just had an episode talking about Nintendo entering the theme park space with Alicia Stella, who's from Theme Park Stop, if you're familiar with her. So yeah, go check that out, and thanks for letting us be on the show.
All right, so John Ebo.
I'm John Ebo everywhere. It's spelled like Amiibo, not like Johnny Bo.
Dude, you're
But
taking
yeah.
the fall for everything on my channel now. I don't
I
care.
will take the
I'll
fall.
call you
We're
when
getting
I
a
call you when I
direct.
want.
We're getting a direct next week. I won't predict the day and the time, but
I
you
didn't
don't.
see this was a prediction. I thought this was like it's happening.
it
You
is
just
happening.
know.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
so yeah, then I'll get to be considered an insider if I'm right. So yeah, I'm Johnny Bo everywhere, mainly TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I do a lot of short form content because I'm too lazy to edit, and I like to annoy people on the internet. So
Yeah, that's the truth.
Well, I mean, we figured that out today.
also on the
Sword
Nintendo
slander.
Powercast and
They
communication.
let you
Error
on that
Podcast.
when you slander Skyward Sword. I don't know about this.
Oh, it's like a reoccurring thing. Everybody knows. All the listeners have agreed that is true.
Not all the listeners.
Oh, don't gaslight them. No.
All
I
the
love
listeners that
it.
he created.
I love the quiet confidence he says that with. It's great.
Yeah.
I tell myself, I look in the mirror, I'm like, you're right about Skyward Sword, and everybody knows it.
Every day. Every day. Oh man, that's how he brushes his teeth and he's just like, yep, that's the first thought. Nightcrawler 724, your turn, bud.
Hey, I'm Nightcrawler 724. Nightcrawlers without the E. Pretty much on Twitter and TikTok are the two spots that I'm active, but not really. Kind of like similar to Eric. It sounds like I'm there, but I don't really do much. But you can catch me every week on Nintendo Powercast. Best spot to get a lot of information about that is through n64josh.com. All of our stuff, I think, ends up there. N64Josh is our other co-host as well, so he's usually on. He's out this week. It's his birthday, so if you see him on Twitter, say happy birthday to him today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. But yeah, and Nintendo Powercast. Check it out.
Heck yeah. You guys all know who I am at this point. I'm the host of the podcast. First time you ever heard it, whether it's audio or video, we have a Nintendo Prime podcast. We do it usually every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Otherwise, I'm just a YouTuber that gets people mad about Nintendo rumors. That's just what we do. I am not saying there will be a direct next week because I have no idea. But Jeff Grubb did say there might be a direct next week. So there is that. A guy named Brazil on Family Boards said there might be a direct. Actually, he said there will be a direct next week. So those are not me. I'm not making these claims.
My
But they
God,
are out
they'll
there.
be there next week.
Mike Odyssey. This Johnny Boy.
Johnny
down
Bo
there.
said it too.
I'm just gonna go Johnny
Yeah,
Boy.
100%.
Really? I'm
You're
worried
going
about
to Y
Johnny.
away from me just calling you Johnny Boy. That's just
Actually, that's actually a good one. I should change my name to that.
there you go. You throw your audience off too.
Rebrand, man. Rebrand.
They'll be like, oh, this isn't the
Game
same
Boy?
guy. He likes
Amiibo?
Skyward Sword now.
It's like
Oh,
the
he was
Amiibo-
wrong
Amiibo
about
are
the direct.
dying, I mean.
He got to rebrand.
We get
Change
Sora
his name.
tomorrow, right? Sora comes out.
Oh yeah,
tomorrow.
Sora comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
I gotta hopefully find it.
No pre-order. Good luck. Good
Yeah, I
luck.
don't have Pyra and Mithra either, and
Oh,
like,
I
now-
don't.
I have
I got
every single other.
Of course
Smash
you
Amiibo
got on this
except-
quick.
Did you get Noah and Mio?
No,
I got Pyro and Mithra boxed, Noah and Mio boxed, and I got the Tears of the Kingdom ones as well up there. But I did not get Sora yet. My Joker just shipped today. Actually,
I got this
pre-ordered
this
Joker.
energy gummies that is good for you, to play games.
God.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, Mike.
If you
You,
eat two
you
of
can
them-
use his link on his channel
Green
to
tea.
an Amazon for 1% kickback.
right. It's pretty cheap. It works half of the time, 100% of the time. You know, that's another
60% of the
extra-
time, it works every time.
Yeah, every time. I saw that movie yesterday. It's hilarious. The
I love that movie. It's great.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I was like Bigfoot.
Tell you, it's some pure gasoline. All right. It's got real bits of Panther in it, so you know it's good.
Yep.
Sorry. Anchorman is just a classic. Come on now.
I still don't know
Movie's
what we're
like
yelling
20,
about.
20
I
plus
love it.
years old now.
Brett
Yeah,
killed
dude,
a
Dude,
guy.
don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Trident.
Rick killed the guy today.
Is that old already? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's 21 years old.
Wow, man.
Just remember,
Trident.
we all love Lamp.
Mhm.
All
Good job,
right,
Kevin.
guys.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart. I saw that. Rick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident? Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's great. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 59. Next week is episode 60 of season 2. Thank you guys for being here, and we will catch everyone next week.
Let me give up.
Later, guys. Have a good
peace.
one.
I have an outro. I just always forget.
Mhm.
Here it goes.